All right. Welcome back, everyone, to EtFA episode 3. Where we are rejoining the party in the Hall of Veterans, where they were recently ambushed. But should we do a little recap? Do we need a recap?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Last episode, in pursuit of Raziel, at the behest of Councilwoman Thora Tavin, you arrived at his apartments in the Battlements, which is in Lower Dura somewhere. Old Keep. It's called Old Keep. When you arrived there, you found that he was already being beset by thugs of the Boromar clan, the halfling criminal organization that controls a lot of the lower regions of Sharn, the lower wards, and just runs a lot of the crime there. You were in chaotic battle on these battlements involving not one, but not two, but three actual jumps off of the top of this fortress, this old keep, down over the edge, and some bizarre mid-air shenanigans to force them I'm going to start to knock riders off of their glide wings and to have a chaotic mid-air battle. After successfully doing that, you not only were able to stop Raziel from fleeing, but to capture a prisoner of the Boromar, of those Boromar thugs, and to ask him a couple of questions. I'm not sure if he was very helpful, aside from telling you guys about Halleck, the enforcer of the Boromar clan, and getting a lot of information from Raziel himself, specifically that he was not any real friend of Thora's, at least in his own mind, that he is not interested in rejoining her, and that he would much rather leave the city with Seeker Leander. Stop. Of course, the moment we start. Being able to convince Raziel that you were willing to help him to disobey the councilwoman, and to help him and the Seeker escape the city. He confessed to you that that the Seeker was hiding out in the necropolis of Sharn called the City of Dead. He led you there, and you were specifically taken to the Hall of Veterans, which is actually not the veterans of the last war, the war that you're all familiar with, but of a much older war called the War of the Mark, which Raziel told you a bit about. Upon entering and passing briefly through a sort of a religious entryway to the tomb itself, Rusty, I think specifically, heard some noises up ahead and took the lead, and perhaps to no one's great surprise, found some undead banging on the door at the end of the hall. On either end of this hall, I suppose. And that is where we pick up. We left off with initiative. And great news for me, the zombies won that initiative. So the first thing that's going to happen is that these two zombies right here, slowly having turned around at your approach, you see the decaying flesh, the exposed bone, the shattered jaw on one of them, the torn flesh from the hand specifically where it was dragging down along this door. It turns and shambles towards you. Both of them do, in fact. And the first thing that's going to happen is that the first one is just going to lunge at you. You can make this really should be a saving throw, but I did it as an opposed. Okay, I'm not going to rework the mechanic on the fly. You can make an opposed athletics check.
All right. That's my strong suit. Let's go. First roll of the game.
Quick question: did we all roll initiative already?
Yes, it is already in the counter. That was the last thing we did.
That's
Last time.
weird. I'm not
Shit.
seeing the turn order.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah,
Oh, I see it.
It's only
Me
showing
neither.
for you, Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
If it's showing for Taylor, that's fine.
Well, yeah, it should be showing for you guys. It's probably because this technically isn't actually the same map we were on before. If you guys probably didn't even notice, but this is a different map because I updated the map.
Yeah, this is then it won't be updated. Words.
Should I restart the turn?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Just you
roll.
use your initiative. We don't need to
Okay.
worry about that.
I will tell you guys right now what the initiative is, and then I'll remind you guys whenever you're on deck. Currently, the zombies are going. Then it's Raziel, then Devoka, then Rusty, then Hashana, then Thambel, and then more zombies.
Yeah.
And as we move through, I will remind you guys when it's when you're on deck.
I remembered I was slow AF.
So what did you get, by the way?
I got a solid 11 for that athletics check.
Unfortunately, it's not as solid as the 14 that I have. So, what's going to happen is that both you and this zombie are going to fall prone as it swarms on top of you, and you are both prone on the ground.
Did that count as an attack?
It is
or-
not an attack. However, this one is about to do an attack, which it would have had advantage on because of him being prone, but no longer does because of your protection from good and evil. Which means that he is flubbing, but he will nonetheless remain over top of you. Zombies aren't very smart, and perhaps he could not predict the trajectory of you falling, and sort of also tries to lunge at you, but you are now on the ground, and he goes far too high. That's that zombie. The Raziel shall go. What is he going to do? He does have a crossbow with him. However, he doesn't have much of a view. He'll move up a little bit, stand here, and I think he's just going to ready an action. I don't think he actually has view. I'll say he can see this one. Why not? He'll take a shot at that one over there. And he's definitely hitting. For 5 damage. All right, Devoka, you are up. Rusty will be after him.
So, Rusty is in floor with zombie.
He is.
Same space.
I don't know if I want to deal with having two things on top of each other, literally. Technically, he's in an adjacent space.
Okay, no problem. I will fill Rusty's space momentarily, and I will stab at zombie with booming blade.
The one that's
Lights
prone.
up with lightning. Prone, I stab at him with advantage. Try to
You do.
remove his head.
Is there actually an attack roll there?
There is. It was supposed to go through, but let me try again.
All I see thunder damage and total damage.
It's okay. I swing.
Yeah, Booming Blade is weird because it doesn't ask you to make a spell attack, but it says make a weapon attack.
Did you get a nat 20? You did get a nat 20. You crazy motherfucker.
I could swing again with advantage, but I go ahead and settle for this.
What is going on with the display? What is going on with the display here?
This is too much information. Anyway, one-handed damage twice, 12, and then booming blade twice, 8.
Okay. 12 plus 8. 20 damage on the first attack. Man, that's a heck of a blow. It does not quite knock this zombie out, but you literally, I don't know, what do? You can feel free to chop off a limb of your choice here.
Okay, I was going for head, but obviously my aim not so good. I tried to slice and get arm instead. Very, very messy.
You tear it. It's actually what are you using? And you have an axe, right? Or
It is longsword.
longsword. Yeah, you try to slash at the head, but it's just a little bit too close to Rusty, so you divert towards the shoulder mid-swing, and you cleave just through it, which actually drops the arm that was still sort of climbing up Rusty's leg a little bit, and it kind of falls to the side and kind of twitches a little bit. You can see the fingers still moving a little. Is there anything else, folks?
Yes.
20 first attack. You
One moment.
bitch.
Okay. I step back 10 feet. I end my turn.
Okay. Were you checking whether or not a prone creature has a chance to attack you?
I was.
I'm going to assume that the answer is no, then.
It's no longer the case.
Especially considering you just chopped his arm off, I will say that there is no attack of opportunity there. All right, Rusty, you're up. Hashana, you are next.
All right, so I'm on the ground. Yes.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Does that mean I've used my movement to stand up?
Yes, you're not actually grappled. You've just been knocked prone, which means you can spend half of your movement to stand up.
All right, Rusty starting to have flashbacks from the war, and says, "I hate these things." And you see kind of a change come over Rusty. His green eyes that are usually friendly suddenly turn red, and you see his right hand, his hand kind of folds in on itself, and then from his shoulder, a big chunk of metal flops out, and now his right hand is a giant war hammer. So he's gonna stand up, and he's gonna, let's see. So the guy that hit, I'm gonna hit the guy that Voka just hit with my arm hammer.
It's a good choice. He has one arm and is still on ground.
Your armor?
My armor. Let's see. So I'm gonna swing the hit with my war hammer. 12.
A 12
Swing
will
twice.
hit.
Swing twice.
You do have advantage because it's prone, although a 12 is hitting, but you can see if you crit.
I'll see if I can crit on it.
Or you can do
Another
exactly
12.
the same thing with another 12. The universe was quite confident about that 12 for you.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna hit him. That didn't.
Yeah, it's obvious that Roll20 has adjusted there. This is definitely different than it was
Yeah,
before.
something's changed. But I got a 6 plus 3 is 9 damage.
9 damage. Very good. You bring your hammer down on this thing's head, and it just, like a melon, just leaves a smear across the ground. That arm is still wriggling just a little bit, just trying to like sort of pull itself across the floor, but the rest of the body sits still. What else you got?
I'm gonna yell back to the party, "Stay behind me!" And then I'm gonna take a step back, so I'm kind of like blocking the hallway, so they can't get past me, if that's possible.
You can, being in the hallway will give you the chance to do attacks of opportunity. You're not large enough to physically block the whole thing.
Okay. But still, I'm gonna take a step back,
Sure.
the front line, so they can't get past me.
Sure. You will take an attack of opportunity.
I can take
At
it. Bring it on.
disadvantage. Nah, you're good. Unsurprisingly, as divine energy seems to keep the creature at bay. All right, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, very good. Hashana, you are up. Thambel, you're on deck.
Hashana, listening to Rusty, decides to stay back, but actually scooches up a little closer to see what Raziel is doing, and prepares her Eldritch Blast on the zombie that is down with his missing arm.
That one is now dead. That one's been finished off, but there is one that
Oh, word.
the other. Oh, sorry.
Other one.
Well, I drew on him a
The
little
other
bit, but
zombie,
whatever.
then.
Yes, you can. If you'd like, you can make an attack now on that one.
Cool.
I think I might have to say that in a hallway full of your allies, it might be a little bit tough to make this attack, though. Firing a ranged bolt with Raziel, Rusty, and Devoka the way that they are, I think I'm going to give him half cover, which will give him a small bonus to his AC, which was honestly a waste of time for me to explain that when I see that you have a 19 to hit. So you're hitting anyways. Go ahead and roll damage. I'm establishing precedent here, guys. All right.
I'm so sorry. What am I rolling for damage?
You would be rolling a 1d10 for damage. I have noticed that there's, at least in roll 20, there's a thing that says click. I'm just going to click and see what happens.
Is the damage roll?
Maybe she has to click it, though, because nothing happens if I click it. There we are. 6 force damage into this zombie at the end of the hall. All right, that's your action to fire the Eldritch Blast. Do you have anything else, Hishami?
I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay. Now, I'm pretty confident that you're within 120. Yeah, you're well within. It's 120 feet for Eldritch Blast, I think. That's just stupid. You might as well just say range is irrelevant. What dungeon room is more than 120 feet across? It's never going to happen, man. All right, Thomvel, you are up. In a while, it will be back to you, Voka.
So I'm going to peel out from behind the statue and run in between Voka and Raziel, and then take up a position next to Rusty. And as I do so, I will hold my blade up, getting ready to wind up and chop off the head of whatever zombie decides to step any closer to me. And I will whisper pretty loudly, as if I'm saying it under my breath. I'll be like, "At your side, Rusty, though I hadn't relished crossing paths with this manner of fiend again.
I told you to stay behind me.
I've got this."
We'll see.
Very good. So you're just
So
holding your action
I'm preparing an action to attack whatever gets within my range. Yes.
Very good. Alrighty. This spring chicken over here will come towards you next, shambling and moaning as he does so. I think you can confidently say that he will trigger your attack as he approaches. 17 will absolutely hit him.
That's 7 damage.
Fantastic. What does that look like?
Literally, as I step up next to Rusty, I'm spinning the blade around, almost like I'm getting ready to swing at a baseball that hasn't been thrown yet. And I wind up, and as it steps into me, I just dig it into his neck. Of course, it doesn't slice fully through yet, but
yeah, it lodges into the throat, and you can see that there is a thick, sort of oozing, coagulated kind of blood that comes out on your blade as you retract it. And while the head is now sort of dangling to the side a little bit, the neck being a bit of a mess now, it does kind of just tilt, and its eye slants up and continues to look at you. In the meantime, appearing from the shadows in the chamber beyond, stepping over the shattered doorway here, comes another one to about this spot. At this point, Thamvel, you can make a athletics check. 18 is good, but I shit you not that they have a 19 to knock you down.
Okay.
So you will fall prone, as well as our choice of which one. I suppose this one will go prone. You know what? We should be using markers, is what we should be doing. We have them. We have the power.
This question.
Yes.
Did he occupy other space to make this falling down attack?
Did he occupy?
Did he occupy same space as this zombie, or did he do this from?
Nah,
around
he's
the
kind of
corner?
doing it adjacent. If you're asking, are you asking because of the diagonal adjacent kind of thing?
I am.
Yeah, I think diagonal attacks are okay if you're adjacent.
He's
I
taken
think
up by much wall. Just curious.
I think with people right next to each other like this, they can definitely make melee attacks kind of around that corner. I think doing a ranged attack with him around the corner would be a different story.
Okay.
All right, so that will denote that you guys are prone. So that one spends its turn knocking you down. The other one will then make an attack at you with advantage. Which didn't matter at all. Okay, the zombie is not very effective. Luckily, I've got one more on this other initiative count. Which, by the way, if you're wondering what the symbols on them are, it's because I actually split their initiatives. It will also make an attack at you with advantage. Come on. Maybe. A 19 to hit.
That does hit.
Heck yeah. Let's do. That is for 5 bludgeoning damage, as this one sort of bends down and begins to pull your armor, and it gets its claws kind of between some of the gaps, and it's not. I guess I did say bludgeoning, but he is rattling your armor, and you can feel it bend a little bit as he pulls it up, which is painful as it bends into your rib cage. And that is their
Who
turn.
needs a rib cage?
I don't know. Anyone with lungs. Raziel will take another shot. Who's not prone? He will take a shot over yonder. I did say that having you guys there, it doesn't matter. He rolled really high. He will deal 4 damage to the zombie directly ahead of you, Thombo. Voka, you are up, and Rusty, you are on deck. Man, this has become a very neat organization. It's still T-shape.
Unfortunately, I have another question.
Yes.
Could, considering attack work, could I walk over Thomvel and Zombie to move around behind?
I see. You could. You would absolutely trigger an AOC of the one that is upright. Well, maybe both, depending on, I don't know who targeted that one. I'm not sure where your end space is, but you actually, yeah, you would absolutely trigger from both of them. Because if you're passing through Thomvel's space, then you're passing through the attack range of both of those two that are standing.
I should only trigger this one because I do not plan to move out of range of this one.
I see. Good point. Yes.
Okay. So I move, I step on Thomvel. Sorry. I move over here, provoke attack of opportunity here, and move
Happy to help.
Okay. I will say that was difficult terrain for you, so this is your full 30 feet. But yes,
It's okay,
one attack
okay.
of opportunity. With a 17 to hit you.
Is a miss. Glance off shield, no problem. Okay, I turn around, I face all 3 zombies, and I let out booming force, and thunderclap can be heard very loud. Very, very loud.
Indeed. Does this... Wait, how does thunderclap... Oh, this is the one that's around you, correct? So it would
Yes.
affect the 3 of them. Good positioning, my man. They're making Constitution saves, DC 12. Is that correct?
DC 12, yes. It's sad, for it's only 2 thunder damage.
It's one pass. I'm going to go left to right. The way you would be facing would be right. Left on the screen to right. And the first one succeeds. The second one succeeds. The third one succeeds.
It's okay. They take no damage. I am failure.
That was a very strong positioning. That was a strong strategy. Just bad rolls for you.
It's okay. End of turn.
They rolled 12, 15 before bonuses. It's not going your way.
Terrible.
Yeah. By the way, I think starting next episode, I think I'm gonna have a little drop down cam that just shows my dice, which means I won't be able to flub for you guys anymore.
It's
Not that
okay.
I'm saying that I have, but I won't have the option anymore. So let that sink in. Anyways, anything else, Voka?
No, that is all.
Okay.
Sad.
Rusty, you are up. Hashana, you are on deck.
All right. I'm gonna say I told you to stay behind me, and I'm gonna pick up Thomvel and bring him out of danger. I don't know what the mechanics of that are. Can I just like drag him back like 5 feet?
Thomvel, are you willing for that? The dramatic flip of the mic. Well, I didn't realize it was my turn.
Well, apparently I am difficult terrain. I will cede my position if that is Rusty's wish. Yes.
Where are you dragging him to, Rusty? I will say you have a maximum distance of 15 feet here.
Basically, I want to replace where he is with me and then push him behind me, if that makes sense. If that works.
So you want him to be here? And you want to be... Oop, I turned you instead of... Oops.
Can I just be diagonal from now on?
You have been turned.
The answer
I like
should be yes.
that. I like that for me.
you can do it for yourself then. There we go. I don't know why. Is this what you want?
Yeah, something like that. That works.
That's fine. Somebody's got to take some attacks for this.
I'll take some attacks.
All right. Technically, you haven't left the space, but I'll say that you can shield Thomvel from the attacks if you're moving him out of the space, if you would like.
Yeah, body blocking.
All
he's
right.
on the ground. I don't want.
It's okay. Forced movement does not trigger opportunity attacks for someone else.
They don't, but I don't think I'm considering this fully forced if he's willing. I can't let you guys reposition like that for free. Someone's got to take an attack.
Yeah, all right.
And it's honestly nice of me to kind of allow the option of which one of you it is. So somebody's got to get taxed for this. That is one hit. That's a 21 total.
With disadvantage?
Oh, good point. All right, I've rolled twice, and I rolled a 16 and a 19 natural. So you are still getting hit once. We'll see for the second zombie. That's a miss. Yeah, that's a miss on the second one. So you are getting hit once for 4 damage.
All right. Then I'm just gonna swing. I guess I'm gonna swing on the guy that was on the ground, like kind of grappling with Thomvel. He's on the ground. I'm just gonna bring my hammer straight down on his head, try and smash it like a melon.
Yep, you can attack him with advantage.
Sweet. There's 1, it's a 10, and an 8.
Believe it or not, a 10 is a hit.
Woo! So I'm gonna swing some damage.
The zombies, man. They're sacks of hit points and bones.
6 damage.
6 damage. And that was the one that was prone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Smash down. You're not quite on the head, but you do kind of crush part of the forearm next to it, and it just kind of flattens a bit. Gives way a little too easy. You can tell the bone underneath is brittle. All right, is that your turn?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Okay, very good. Hashana, you are up. Thomvel, you're on deck.
Hashana's gonna move forward to get behind Rusty.
You can get pretty close. Is that 30? Let's see. You can get 30 feet. Yeah, you can get there. That's exactly how far you can go.
I'm actually gonna position myself next to Raziel.
Sure.
And I'm going to, noticing that the zombie is close to Devoka, I'm going to use Mind Sliver on him.
Very good. Which one are we talking about? You can ping by just holding down a click to show me which one you are targeting. Or you can just say left, right, middle.
The middle one.
Okay. Let's see. Mind Sliver, I think he has to do a saving throw. And he's right in the middle. Can you read me what kind of saving throw it is? I'm thinking he's failing. Yeah, because there's no
intelligence.
Yeah, he's failing by far. So, what is the damage of the Mind Sliver? I believe it's 1d6.
Yes.
Okay, so you can roll that, and then he'll also get a minus 1d4 to his next saving throw. I think before the end of his next turn. I think there's some kind of limitation to it. But before the end of your next turn. 5 damage. Yeah, very nice. Psychic damage on a zombie. What does that look like? You reach forward, concentrating, and you can, as you have done many times in the past, reaching into someone else's mind to communicate with them telepathically. You've done that before. Reaching into this creature's mind is like finding... It's like stepping into a decrepit city, a ruin with decay all around it. The space is both empty and full of a foreboding stench that is not literal, but in your mind as you link minds with this undead creature. And without fully understanding what that means, you psychically reach out to destroy just anything that is around you. Visually, the zombie shows little to no response, but you do damage it.
Nice. I think that's it.
Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Who did I say? Thomvel, you are up. Voka in a bit. After somehow all of the enemies / NPCs lined up in a row.
It's very nice. I have noticed this.
Even though I split initiatives.
After Rusty drags me backward, I will regain my footing using half my movement.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just remove this?
You can remove it yourself.
Icon from myself, yeah. So.
But I bet you I'd get there faster.
You probably can, yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
All right. So I'll stand up and take another step backward and scan the horizon. Well, not the horizon, but the area, including Rusty, and then I'll just take out another dart and throw it at the zombie directly in front of me.
Okay. A 15 will do it.
Okay. And that is 6 damage.
Very nice.
It is important to make distinction. It's not throwing dart like game. It's big lawn dart like spear.
Yeah, I mean it's more like a dagger that is specifically for throwing and not for stabbing. Yes.
Is there I'm not getting damage rolls from a lot of you guys.
Yeah, they're not showing up in the Roll20 for some reason.
We're gonna have to review some of these Beyond 20 updates, I guess.
It's probably settings. So in, I guess I'll talk normal. In the Beyond 20 button in D&D Beyond, there should be a button that toggles it.
Is this something I need to do or something the players need to do?
The players have to do it.
Okay. We'll look into it. We'll look into it in a bit. For now, I will trust the honor policy here. No problem. Anything else, Thumbbell?
It's being tracked in D&D Beyond. You can see it in the chat logs, their damage.
If I open their sheet, you mean?
You should be able to open the campaign chat log, because there is one now. That was an update.
I see. I'm sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Nothing at the moment.
Okay. Very good. Let's see. So we have a 2. This one will pick himself up.
The French zombie.
The zombie.
The worst.
Zombie. I don't know why I don't know if that was even particularly French sounding, but all right. I think they gotta share the love. They gotta share the love, and Voka, you've placed yourself just right, my man. Just right. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Okay. Oof. 6.
They have a 17. If there's one thing these zombies are good at, it's knocking you all down, apparently. And I'm not sure why I bothered. Does it matter? It doesn't matter very much. We will say, yeah, I shouldn't have even bothered, because this one's fallen right back down as he knocks you prone. I shouldn't have even bothered. That will, however, allow the other 2 to make attacks on you with advantage. That is a 16 to hit. Well, it's advantage. What am I doing? Well, it is a 16 to hit on one of them. And a nat 20 on the other. Voka, I think you're the only one who's been crit so far.
I think Voka's
In
gonna
this
die
whole
again.
campaign. No, just one crit. Because the 16 misses, right?
Yes, 16 misses. Nothing I can do about natural 20.
Yeah. And he rolled max. Oh.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah. Luckily for you, that's a 6 on a max here. And it's only +1, which means only 13 points of damage as this zombie comes down on you, taking advantage of you being prone and bites into just below your neck, barely missing the vital jugular there, and getting kind of more into your shoulder.
This is awful. Of course, I must now make concentration saving throw.
That is true. With a DC of 13, right?
18, no problem.
Okay, very good. You maintain. That is the zombies' turns. Raziel?
I have one thing to interject.
Sure.
Zombie bites me in neck, I bite zombie back. I bite back with lightning.
Oh. What is the... it's the reaction, right?
Yes, Wrath of Storm. So, creature within 5 feet. Let's see if they fix this.
Thunderously rebuke. Use your reaction 2d8 lightning. You can do this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. I'm going off of memory, but you use this once during the other fight, right?
Yes. This
And
is
your
my
modifier is 2, right?
2. Dos.
Okay. All right. Well, 2d8. 2d8 lightning damage. This is this one, for the record, on the right that has hitten you.
It would be 12.
Absolutely. it bites down on your shoulder, and in a rage, you begin to roar, and the electricity begins to surround you, crackling off of your armor. And while the zombie doesn't react, it holds on to you and continues to bite you. There's that sizzling sound and a bubbling and a smoke that comes off and a horrid stench until eventually just... And he just... And some of this skin just on the walls as he just pops.
Always with the fucking zombies.
How's Voka looking? Are you low right now?
Oh, I would say I am very low. I have a 1 hit point.
Nice. Well, that does change what Raziel was going to do. He only has one good target right now. Actually, I think what's going to happen is that as Raziel, kind of some of this flesh kind of comes down the hallway, you can see the startlement, and you see him begin to reach for another bolt from sort of a hip pouch kind of on his side, kind of just behind in the small of his back. But as he does so, you can see him kind of fumbling. His hands are shaking a little bit, and he starts to... and he's racked with coughing. He'll try to take an attack, but... Actually, well, he's still hitting. Let's see. Well, all that narration and then the dice just completely contradicts me. As he lands with maximum damage on this zombie, dealing 8 damage. Come on, show me that. Oh, it's because I'm still thing. Come on, there we go. And actually finishes this zombie off as the bolt flies right past you, Rusty, and takes it in the eye. Voka, it is back to you.
Okay, I stand up.
What am I-
This is no good. Only 2 zombies in front of me, 1 hit point. What do I do?
What do you do?
I will touch myself and try to cure some of my wounds. I will give myself 7 more hit points.
Absolutely. That goes off without a hitch. Congratulations on your 8 health.
Hooray!
It's a good thing you just leveled up. Otherwise, you would have been down last time, right?
This is true, and that is actually the fact. I will move to here. You know what? This cannot attack me, so I will move back down to here for a moment. I will stand behind Rusty and give him thumbs up. That is all of my movement and all of my turn. I am done.
Very good. Rusty, you are up. Ashana, you will be next.
So there's only one zombie I can see. So there's like a door open up to the left in there? Is that what you're saying?
There is. You can't see terribly well into the following room, but you can see. I thought I did reveal this enough. You can kind of see the door that's on the ground, right?
Yeah. Can I get into a position where I can see into that room better?
Yes, just by moving up.
All right. That's 1, 2, 3. There. What can I see from there?
How do you reveal? Polygon reveal. We'll kind of simulate a cone of vision. How about that?
Ooh, look at that. Is that looks like a dead guy on the floor. Can I do
That is
perception?
definitely a dead guy on the floor, and you can also see coffins, kind of the edges of them. Only one can you actually see terribly well with what I revealed, but you can kind of see the ones on the left as well.
But no more zombies?
You don't see any zombies there.
All right. I'm stepping over this zombie, just checking out, make sure there's no necromancer or more zombies. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna bring my hammer down, try and finish this guy off.
Absolutely. You can hit him with advantage. A 23 will absolutely do it.
Yeah. So let's hit him.
You should.
That's 5 damage.
5 damage. He's actually still kicking. He does not go down quite so easy. At least not unless he wants to. And he's taking you down too.
Can I add superiority die to it after I hit him?
Yeah, you choose. I mean, you should probably be telling me before you roll damage, but this is, you just got this and it's your first time using it, so I will totally allow you. You decide when you hit that if you'd like to dump an attack in. So yeah, you can.
Which maneuver?
It does. Some of them are not that way, but I'm pretty sure as long as it says when you make an attack or when you hit or something like that. But if you put the text up of the maneuver.
I don't know how to do that. Oh, let me do that.
So there should be an option that says display in VTT on the ability. There you go. Yeah, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack. So it's okay that you preferably tell me as soon as you know you're hitting in the future, but you're fine.
Nice. So I hit him for another 3 damage.
And he has to make a strength saving throw to see if he gets pushed.
13.
Which he surprisingly passes. Yeah, I don't think being prone gives him like disadvantage or anything. So he doesn't get pushed, but he does take the 3 extra damage.
Take that. Can I take a limb? Can I take off one of his feet or something?
Sure.
All right, I want his left foot. I want it gone.
It's just mashed into the ground. Is it gone? Disturbingly, no. You wish it was. It's not nice to look at. Not what's left of it. And I assume that's your turn. Hashana, we're up.
Can I see the zombie?
Did he get the pushed 15 feet?
He did not. The zombie actually passed its saving throw, so it was not pushed.
Just checking. Just kidding. Sorry, Hashana. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Can I see the zombie from where?
Not really. I mean, I think maybe partially. I don't think if you're Eldritch blasting, I don't think it's gonna go well with that like hard angle on a ranged attack.
Yeah, my plan was to knock him into the hallway so you guys can finish him.
Man, all right. Hashana's going to move forward to get closer to the zombie, noticing on the walls all of this like disgusting zombie guts, and kind of shakes it off before she advances and kind of musters up her courage. This is gross.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Thomvel, presumably. You haven't had a turn since Rusty dragged you over there, have you?
I have. I threw a dart.
Oh, okay, never mind. Forget what I was going to say.
It was fine throw too. I saw.
Very fluid motion.
So you kind of move up to like here-ish, I take it. Oh, there you go. Yep, very good. Yeah, you can kind of straddle a dead zombie. That's fine. Actually, I think that's the one that kind of popped, so I don't think there's much to straddle. In fact, there's kind of a there's a little slip, a little squishing sound, and
yeah.
as you step over.
Ugh, so gross. Yeah, her feet notice all of that grossness. I'm gonna try Mind Sliver again.
Okay. Sure. And then they're making an intelligence saving throw. They're definitely failing, so you can do another d6. In fact, technically they would have. I mean, they failed, but technically they would get a minus d4. Actually, it should have had a minus d4 to your strength saving throw. I totally forgot. This is why we need to use Well, no, that wasn't even the same one, was it? No, it wasn't even the same one. Yeah, my bad. Although we should be marking that next time. Next time, remind me, Hasana, to put a little indicator on who has it. Which I'll do now.
So I roll a d6.
A d6 for the damage.
I rolled a
A 1. That is the sad part about cantrips, isn't it? It's just the 1. And perhaps, and again, you feel that disturbing empty space as you reach out with your mind towards it. And again, you try to damage it from within, but there just isn't that much there to damage. As it continues seeming quite preoccupied with Rusty, who has smashed his foot into the ground. Is that good? Very good. All right, Thomville, you are up.
All right. As Hasana rushes by me, shrugging off the disturbing sight of the hallway, I will peel a sliver of skin off of my bracer that had landed there and say, shall never grow accustomed to the stench. And then as she walks into the hallway, fires off the mind sliver, I will get up and then leap off of the wall to my right through here and spin myself around to attack twice with my Revenant Blade.
Very nice.
And that's shit. That was damage. I do that all the time.
I can't see the damage, so it doesn't even.
Yeah.
It didn't even do anything to me.
So I rolled an attack with advantage.
Indeed.
Didn't show up in chat, but it's a 15.
Okay. A 15 will hit. And you can keep whatever damage you rolled before.
Yeah, so that's a 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the offhand attack, that's a 12.
A 12 will hit.
And let's do that. 7 damage on the offhand.
Okay. You slice him and dice him. Tell me what you do.
Okay. Do I take that to mean that he is no longer?
Spoilers, because he's a zombie, no. But otherwise, yes. Okay. So you can do something badass, but he's still somehow going to be functioning anyways.
All right. Do I want to do this thing? I'm honestly not sure. It's probably not worth it. All right. I'm just going to, as I said, leap off the wall and do a aerial spin and basically slice through him twice and then end up here. And just kind of turn myself around gracefully and then point the sword at him as the shambling heap of limbs just in front of me that still somehow manages to move.
Yeah, in fact, as it begins to right itself is just as you are moving past it, and you dig with the first attack as you're almost dashing past it with part of the blade, and then spin it around, striking with the other side on the opposite side of the zombie in the same spot, and you actually slice a whole sliver of him. I hope we didn't already chop off one of his arms because an arm is coming off.
He grew another one. It's fine.
I'm losing track of how many arms zombies have. But as you, not just an arm, but half of his chest is gone as you have just filleted down from both sides, and it just peels off, but he still is rising as he does so. And I think I want him to go for Hashana, but he'll just die from AOCs. Which is fine. He's a zombie.
I will sneer as I notice a bit of stray intestine is hanging off the edge of my blade, and I'll just shake it off.
Yeah, it's kind of dangling there, and it falls off. Looks like pork rinds. And the zombie standing up slowly, barely able to rise to its feet on its shattered foot. Its destroyed visage, as the first thing it sees is Kashana, and it just begins to just moan as it attempts to take a step forward. Rusty, you get an attack of opportunity.
Get to smash this guy. All right, let's go. 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
That's 7 damage.
7 damage. As you smash him in the back, you tell me. You tell me. There's not much left of him, but perhaps you can find one more body part to describe how you destroy.
We still got his head, right?
He does.
I want to do like a baseball swing, and I want his head to just like pop off and roll down the hallway.
It just comes clean with viscera, and it's right in front of you, Hashana, as it does so, and it just thuds into the wall right next to you, Thomvel, and then falls to the ground, kind of rolls a little bit, just kind of plods along, and he is no more.
Nice try, Rusty.
I hate zombies.
And with that, you are out of initiative.
Raziel.
You see him like kind of lean up against the wall and kind of grab his chest, and I didn't want to actually do it because I would have actually done it, but he spits, and you can see that there is that it is a bright red that he spits onto the ground. Yeah.
Are you unwell? Is this a side effect of that concoction you drank earlier?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a little too much lately.
Do you need medical assistance?
I'll be fine for now, I think.
I will walk over and like help him to his feet. But then I'll give him a stern look and say, "What is going on here?"
I don't know. The Seeker wouldn't have put these out just for me. I mean, he was expecting me, but perhaps. And as you're talking to him, it's actually at that point that you hear a shouting from the door. It's obviously not the one that's already broken down, but on the opposite end of the hall, you hear a voice calling from within. He shouts, "Go on then! Finish it! You come through that door and I'll put a quarrel right through your eye!"
You think these belong to the Seeker?
Well, yes, and judging from the sound of that, I think I understand why.
Do you think that was the Seeker's voice? Should we go to his aid?
No.
Okay. Well then, I suppose we should be hurrying.
So to be clear, you heard a voice from the room over here, Raziel does not recognize it as the Seeker, and he thinks that the zombies have been unleashed.
Well, then, yes, the Seeker must be in danger. If there are people down here putting quarrels through people's faces, and there are zombies here, then the Seeker must fear for his life with good reason.
I suppose probably the flame has caught up to him then. He was being pursued from Thrain.
We need to move.
Wait, is the Seeker the seller that we're trying to meet down here?
Yeah.
And we think he's through that door to the right?
No, he that sounded like someone else.
I'm gonna go knock on the door. Well, first I'm gonna like get all the blood and viscera off my warhammer, put it away, back to a hand, eyes go green again, and go, that was so undignified. I knock on the door. Say, greetings, sir or madam. We mean you no harm. I'm coming through the door. Don't shoot.
Wait. Are you actually opening the door?
I'm about to.
You hear a voice calling, I've got you trained right here. You come take one step through and I'll don't make me. And you hear another voice kind of not whispering but not shouting, a little muffled through the door. You hear Mikhail, I don't think that's them. I think it's someone else.
As Rusty walks up to the door and prepares to open it, I'm gonna like duck behind him and take the dodge action.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. If you
want to do something before I open this door, because I have a history of knocking down doors.
Are you trying to knock the door down, or just trying to open it?
Well, I knocked first politely, as is my way.
And you heard a response.
All right, I'm just gonna try the handle, see if it's unlocked.
It is not moving. It has clearly been barricaded.
All right, I'm coming in. Don't shoot. And I'm gonna knock the door down.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check, an athletics check.
18.
Rusty is a hammer that only sees names. You roll a lot of athletics checks, my friend. An 18. I think an 18 will rattle this door and splinter it. I think you can break it if you want, although, again, you hear that voice from inside, and it calls out to you. What do you want? If you're coming for us, then I'll stand with Mikhail myself. We're not going to go down without a fight.
Who's the guy we're looking for? What's his name?
His name is Seeker Leander.
Leander.
We're looking for Seeker Leander. Is he with you?
No. You hear a bit of conferring for a second. She says, we weren't able to reach him. Were you sent by the... Did you come from the tower?
We came from a tower. I'm going to look confused.
That is accurate. You can make a history check. I don't remember if I told you guys this last session. I don't remember if it came out.
14?
The Wardens Tower is a tower in the City of the Dead. I don't remember if I described this to you guys when you were flying in. But there is a tall tower called the Wardens Tower, which is meant to hold those who are meant to oversee these catacombs, the necropolis itself.
We came here looking for the Seeker, and we were ambushed by these zombies who are now deceased again. We mean you no harm. I'm coming in. I want to break down the door, but not in like a super violent way. I just want to like put my hand through like the lock and like open it from the other side.
You can either make an athletics check with advantage or a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I'm good with athletics. I'm much better at that.
Okay.
Is that advantage?
Yeah. Yeah, that 20 will do it.
Gotta roll again. Hold on. Okay, I'll take the 20.
Yeah, your arm bursts through the wood. You hear a sort of a gasp of, and then you feel a bolt stab into your arm as you reach around for the lock. You are going to take 5 damage, piercing damage, as a bolt hits your arm.
I told you not to shoot.
I told you I put a coil through your arm.
I guess you're a man of your word then. My hand, I'm still just gonna like reach around and like casually unlock the door and open it.
The door does come free at that point, and you can step inside. You can see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to reveal. Why am I acting like I've never used Roll20? You can see into this room, basically, for the most part, annihilating this door. As you step in, you can see what looks like a priestess, short blonde hair, and a long white robe, a leather cuirass kind of on top. Sitting with his leaning up against one of these coffins in the corner is a man heavily armored with a crossbow, kind of shouldered. He sits with one leg extended out. Make a perception check, Rusty.
Perception. 11.
I'll say that that's good enough. You can see that there's a bolt sticking out of his calf on that leg. And he struggles. You can see him trying to load another bolt. The priestess kind of looks between you and him. She sees, looking through the doorway now and seeing the rest of them, she kind of backs into a corner with Mikhail, with the man she called Mikhail, as you heard. She holds a hand up and says, wait, both of you. And you can see Mikhail kind of pause for a moment as he's trying to load another bolt. I told you, I don't think they're with them.
At this point, I'm going to very slyly put my hand up in front of Raziel to make sure that he doesn't walk out into the hallway and reveal himself to them. And I'll actually also like look in his direction and put my finger to my mouth to make sure he doesn't say anything.
I'll kind of nod his head. Kind of
and then
take a half step back and
yeah, I'll ask her, who are we not with exactly? And who are you?
I will say that from judging by the large silver flame engraved into the breastplate of the man, you can make a pretty good guess of who they are. However, she will look to you and say, my name is Nestora. This is Mikhail. And I'm not sure, but they ambushed us in the next crypt ahead.
They ambushed you. Do you mean the zombies or someone else?
You hear Mikhail, and he kind of oh, the zombies came next while we were distracted. No, these bastards had an ambush laid up for us.
Well, We can let you go free if that's what you want.
You kind of look at each other. You say, "You're here for the secret too?" But
We are, but that doesn't necessarily mean our interests are in line.
Did Gaia send you?
Okay. As I hear this, do I recognize the name Gaia at all? I'm going to lie.
Okay.
I'm going to tell a big lie, and I'm going to say not Gaia themselves, but someone under their orders sent us. Yes.
Okay. Make a deception check.
$14.
Before results of his deception come into, I poke my head into the room and look at Band real quick. Do I know anything about this man?
You do not recognize him, if that's what you're thinking.
Okay, I pull my head back out and let Domval handle this.
And you see, see Mikhail. Is it just Thomvel in the room? Has anybody else moved in?
Actually just poked my head around Rusty. I'm not like fully entering the room.
Okay.
We are
I'm
all
trying
to-
moving head out behind corner, like bobbing out Scooby-Doo style.
That does seem a little silly, though. I'm gonna amend that. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
step
absolutely.
forward very, very diplomatically.
Okay, as you step forward, make a dexterity saving. No, I'm kidding.
Great.
Yeah, you can come into the room. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're right. It did seem a little silly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thomvel, as you say that you have been sent by on Gaia's orders, but not from Gaia, the store will kind of look at you and say, "The garrison here wasn't exactly well kept when we came through. Who exactly is passing Gaia's orders?"
Rusty's gonna look real confused and look at Thomvel like
I will like noticing Rusty react in this way. I'll kind of like tap him very lightly on the thigh, as a way to reprimand, and I'll say, "It's someone new in the chain of command. You wouldn't have met. Let's just say they're accepting outside help."
"How new?" says Mikhail. "Because we passed through the tower just 3 hours ago."
Must have just missed him.
I'm gonna.
You can tell that things are. You've won yourself no favors with this lie. Go ahead, Hashana. You were about to say something.
I was gonna say that noticing that Thomvel is maybe lying here, sensing some disturbance, she's gonna go a little closer to Thomvel and poke her head to see who everyone is dealing with, not recognizing anyone, and kind of reaches into her vest and puts her hand over her dagger just in case.
Listora kind of looks again to Mikhail and to the three of you, the four of you. Voka, you might not be participating much, but she saw you when Rusty brought the door down anyways. And she'll kind of look back and say, "Mikhail, it doesn't matter who sent them. If it wasn't Gaia, then perhaps it was the flame." And he'll kind of grumble a little bit. I suppose it makes no difference. I don't think we'd stand a chance, regardless. If you're not here from the tower, then do you intend to help us, or?
Apologies, sirs or madam. And I'm gonna take the bolt out of my arm that I got shot by, and I'm gonna go present it to the guy who shot me and said, "You dropped this. I think we got on the wrong foot."
I think I got you just right in the arm, he says as he takes it.
Nailed it.
We're here looking for the Seeker, and we were ambushed by these zombies. Who do you think laid this ambush, and for what reason?
The undead are obvious. Clearly came from that priest, the one we're here for. It's his allies I'm not sure about. Those were no undead. Organized. Planned ambush, and they're probably still laying in wait. Just in the next room. That was before the zombies came.
What did they look like? What were they wearing?
Barely see them. They're in the rafters, the second level of the crypt up ahead. Came in, they just started firing. Tried to return fire, but Shamar went down quick, got shot in the back as we retreated. Once the zombies started pouring out the hallway next to us, Edric was torn to pieces. You can see I took a bolt myself, trying to, as we fell back here.
And still you intend to pursue this individual? You don't want to just report back to your superiors?
Did you clear out those bastards?
I think there's still work to be done. I don't know if our interests are in line just yet, but it could be that we could help each other in the meantime.
You see him considering for a moment before Listora kind of steps up and says, "There's not a chance, Michaela. You can barely walk. No, we need to get back to the tower." He looks up, says, "What about Colleen? She's still up ahead." "You don't know that, Michaela."
I will walk around corner and say, perhaps you would enlighten us as to what we may see ahead. Perhaps we can save your friends.
Like I said, they were waiting. Clearly planned, or at least they were well positioned. Definitely not undead. And I'm not sure who would be helping this Seeker, but they didn't fire on the zombies. They just let them tear us to pieces.
Yes, this is typical Cardathi problems. Undead always is disgusting to me.
You and me both. Abominations.
Any more information that they wear any kind of markings? What kind of equipment would they have? How was the ambush set up? Anything that I could go through them and maybe not die. Maybe get small measure of revenge for yourself?
They took cover on the rafters on the second floor of the crypt just ahead, firing down with crossbows. We couldn't reach them. About 15 feet up or so to the second level. They had cover from the railings and the coffins on the second level.
Okay, this is problem, yes. We have ranged options and maybe ways to obscure us when we enter. Did it seem like there was any other way to get in?
It's only one passage in. Moving down the hall to get out of the room would be simple enough, of course, but assuming you can get into Halden's tomb at the end, but I don't think it goes any farther than that. Could find yourself trapped there, like I assume this Seeker is.
Okay, this makes sense. But Do you plan to push further in? Do you need us to address your wounds, or do you plan to egress out?
I don't think you could do much for this. Well, at least not enough to get me back in the fight.
You may be surprised.
Listora kind of looks at you all and says, if you're going to help us, then perhaps I can aid before we go. I don't think Mikhail can handle another fight. But I was saving the last of my energy. Perhaps I could bolster everyone.
Then we would move forward and you stay here.
No, we would return to the tower and request reinforcements.
I see. I think that sounds like a fair deal.
It is not so bad. You were in bad predicament. We cleared area for you to get out. Maybe we save companions if it's possible. We go about our own ways. Yes?
If you're not from the church, then what exactly are you here for?
Oh, many intersecting interests in Sharn. You know how it goes. Sometimes you go for one thing, sometimes it's others. People, they pay to have certain things done. And the Seeker has brought a lot of attention, obviously. You're in a bad situation, he's in a bad situation. People stop us getting to him, they hurt you, many things.
I think if we were to answer too many of your questions, we may need to rethink allowing you to return to the tower.
I look at that askance like, ooh, this is a big threat.
Yeah. Mikhail kind of begins to kind of straightens his back and says, "Are you threatening us?"
Not exactly. I mean, you're not ready for another fight anyway.
No.
We just want to go our way.
Doesn't mean I don't have my pride. As he sort of begins to stand himself up, you can see he locks his leg quite stiff as he pushes up on the coffin with his arms and kind of gets himself into a limping state. Lustora kind of helps him up a little.
There's been enough violence already today for my taste. Go your separate ways. We will not block you. And then I look at Voka like, we're not going to block him, right?
It's not my plan.
Mine neither.
Well, like I said, I could at least aid us all a little bit before we go. I needed to save it. I wasn't sure what would be coming through that door, but if the path to the exit is clear, it is clear, isn't it?
I think so.
Should not face any difficulties.
Well, in that case, I suppose I can help. If you will give me a few minutes, that is. Oops, I should not be doing it here. Oops. Forgot that messes up for the stream. She is going to, if you guys are willing to spend, I think it's 10 minutes. She's going to cast Prayer of Healing.
That's fine by me. While she's doing that, I'm going to excuse myself for just a few seconds and walk around the corner to whisper in Raziel's ear.
He is not there anymore.
I will take a few more steps out and look into the hall with the statues to see if I can find him.
Make a perception check. A 20. You don't see him in the room, but you do hear just faintly echoing from beyond that room, from where you entered, a sort of a kind of in the distance.
I'm going to really quickly proceed out and carefully cross the threshold to see if I can follow the choking sound.
Sure. Yeah. You can come through. You can come through that. Through the shrine to Doldurn that you were in before, and kind of get to the next room. It's a series of passageways that you were led down. It's not like you're just exiting right back out to the outside, and none of which as well lit as this shrine is, right? And based on what you heard, you can find him pretty quickly. He's basically just hiding kind of, I guess, over here. Kind of like if... Here, I can't draw anything. If the passage that you came from kind of leads this way, he's kind of hidden over here.
I see. So basically I will...
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not revealed, is it?
It's fine. I got the idea. I will subtly make my presence known to him, and I'll walk over and whisper, "It's the flame. They're going to assist us and then leave. You should stay hidden for the time being."
Already ahead of you.
And then I'll nod and walk back to the group.
I guess we're waiting for this prayer to be done right now.
So it takes like 10 minutes, yeah.
All right.
In fact, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Rusty's just going to be chatting with them, and he's going to give them some discount coupons for the Great Dragon. If you're ever in Upper Central, tell them that Rusty sent you.
Listora kind of flips it over a couple of times with a confused look. Mikhail looks at it real quick and then just tosses it over his shoulder.
As Rusty does this, I very churlishly raise an eyebrow at him. Slight shake my head slightly.
I see him do that, and I take my hand and raise one of my eyebrows back, like, got you, bro. I got you.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take our first break here, and we'll kind of finish up with the end of the prayer of healing and anything else you want to do over the next 10 minutes or so. Or if you want to take a short rest, well, we can discuss all that when we come back. All right. But let's go ahead and take a break here. I'm going to say 15 minutes. I kind of realized in retrospect, the last couple of times we've been playing, I don't know. If we're going to take a break, take a real break. So I don't know. You got to poop. Now's the time. So we will be right back. Everyone stay tuned. We'll be back in approximately 15 minutes. What time is that? Roughly 7:20, 7:25. So stay tuned. If you can't make the back half of it, then keep an eye out for the full episode uploaded to YouTube later this week. All right. Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody, to Eberron the Fifth Age, where we shall continue. So, you have been offered an at least 10-minute casting time on this spell, on this prayer of healing, to help you guys out. Are we also resting? And either way, what are we doing in the meantime? And do you guys want to rest, or what do you want to do?
I want to see what happens after 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm keeping my guard up intensely with these two around. I'm not from the point after I return from finding Raziel, I'm not saying another word to them.
Okay.
Or around them to anyone.
It's a little tense.
I will also try to make myself somewhat benign, less noticeable, because I do not have good relations with Silver Flame.
That is that is true. Mikhail will kind of look across you guys. Hashanah, where are you at?
Hashanah's going to walk over to Thomvel and ask him about Raziel. Quietly, she's going to walk over to Thomvel when he comes back in and whisper, "Did you find Raziel?" is he hiding, and do we know if he's going to stay there? How do we ensure that Raziel stays within our party?
I say, if he wanted to flee, he would have fled already. But he's in hiding. He'll be fine. And then I briskly walk past.
Mikhail will kind of look across the lot of you and say, well, you gonna barricade that door, or you just gonna stand there?
I look at Rusty.
Rusty's gonna take that literally, and he says, "Okay then," and he's gonna go stand in the doorway.
He'll kind of rub his forehead. Well, I suppose that's a watch after all, anyways. Fine.
Can we take a short rest? Because I can take a rest while standing still, basically.
Yeah, as can anyone. Yeah, a short rest can entail light activity. I think in some cases it could even involve travel. Yes, you guys can take a short rest if you'd like. It's about an hour to do so.
How many hit points am I getting back from this prayer of healing?
It will be. Thought I had it up somewhere on one of these tabs. One of them. 2d8 plus something. No, I think I closed it. I'm going to say 2d8 plus 2 because I think that's pretty much correct anyways. It's the d8 that matters.
So I think that like we can start, hypothetically short resting while we're waiting for the prayer. And then basically whatever happens after that will decide whether I want to follow through with a full short rest.
Sure. Well, you're all regaining 10 hit points from the prayer of healing.
That puts me at full.
I will use my sorcerer hit die. So a short rest is yes for me.
Yeah, let's take a nap. Do a quick rest.
This is 1 hour time frame.
Yeah, approximately, and I'll include the 10 minutes of her casting the spell.
Okay. After I get healed, I will very graciously say to her, I thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for not killing us.
The least we could do, I suppose.
For clearing out that mess. I don't think we had a way out otherwise.
Now, you will return to your Wardens Tower.
We will. See if we can get any aid. I don't think there's much to be had at the tower. It's kind of become a relic at this point. But
I would imagine that they would like to know what has transpired here regardless.
Yes, theoretically. A guy as old seems to care more about the history this place represents than actually trolling the grounds. But then again, she doesn't exactly have the support she requires, so I can hardly blame her.
It's a shame. It's much easier to appreciate history when your relics are not smattered with entrails.
Yes, she says, kind of looking at some of the various viscera that is on you guys. You kind of closes her eyes for a second and just kind of shakes it off for a minute. She has a pretty bad mental image. I'm sorry, but no matter how many times you see it, the undead always... I make my skin crawl.
Remind us how many you're missing. Of your own people.
Edric and... Sorry, let me scroll up. Edric and Shamar already went down. Only one unaccounted for is our scout. She had gone ahead, and while we stayed in the crypt, checked the door to the tomb. Once the bolts started flying, I lost track of her, but it's where those things came from, so...
We will do our best about the scout, and we'll also ensure that the remains of the other two are not further disturbed.
Eileen's crafty. She's light on her feet, too. If anyone could have escaped notice, I assume it'd be her, but I doubt she could have made it past both those... whoever was lying in wait, and once those zombies filled up the hallway out there...
We will proceed taking that into account. Now, you should probably be on your way. Things are about to get a little ugly in the near future.
Already about as ugly as things get, he says as he kind of grimaces, standing up from where he was leaning. Lestora kind of helps him. Well, again, thank you, I suppose. It'd be much appreciated if you could return Kylene to us. Hopefully everything will be settled by... Be careful. It'll take time for us to make it out of the hall. Even more still for us to return, but... If you're still here, I'll tell whoever comes down to watch for you.
Yes, the path should be clear, but do take care on your way out regardless.
And she'll kind of help him limp along, carrying the torch in one hand, although I can't actually move it because it's part of the map. But she'll take the torch there in one hand and put her others kind of around Mikhail, and they'll kind of limpingly, slowly, gradually make their way out. And they will be gone as they move through the shrine there.
Be gone.
I'm gonna awkwardly
Hello.
shout, "Thank you!"
Thank you, the store will call back.
Mikhail and Listora, eh?
Thamval, you did not seem too amiable to man. You know, Silverflame. Do you have history here?
No, I don't have a history, but it would seem that they are after the Seeker for reasons that would not be beneficial to him should they find him, right?
It is difficult to say. They poke their nose in a lot of business, yeah?
Perhaps. We'll have to ask Raziel what his thoughts are, but my assumption is that he would not want them finding the Seeker before he did.
They do things very zealously and make assumptions. They are known for this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose I have made my own assumptions. We shall see if they prove correct. I wait just a moment to give them time, the two that were walking out, to presumably walk past where Raziel is hiding, and then slowly make my way toward him.
Sure, and he'll kind of poke his head out from around the corner of kind of the hallway that's out there, and kind of take a look at you. Is it all clear then?
Should be. You recognize them?
I wasn't looking. I could hear some of... I don't know the flame. I knew they were after the Seeker, but it's not my quarrel. I suppose it is now. But what's one more group hunting you at this point?
Any idea why the flame might be after the Seeker?
They passed through Thrain. Everyone knows they hate necromancers.
Okay, so the Seeker's Karnathi, and he passed through Thrain to get here. And the Order of the Flame has followed him from there?
It's my understanding.
So they also want the shards.
Maybe. I don't know.
Either that, or the Seeker did something in Thrain to attract their ire. Seems unlikely a necromancer would just attract the attention of an order of knights simply for walking through a territory.
He does keep his servants are a little hard to miss.
Ah. That could answer that question, yes.
Tall, dark
You should-
robes only go so far, but, people are keeping their eyes open in Thrain.
Right. He should be a little more discreet then, for everyone's sake.
And there is bodyguards. What use are they if he doesn't travel with them?
We'll figure it out. Well, apparently an ambush has been set. That's what caused those two to barricade themselves into that room.
Not sure if they're hunting me or hunting him, and at this point you guys have walked back up and returned, I assume.
Mhm.
Walking and talking.
Yeah, and basically we're casually gonna transition into a short rest at this point while we plan for the ambush, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, they apparently did not have any distinguishing features to speak of for these attackers. So, we are operating on limited information at the moment. The only thing we really know is that we should expect to be attacked from above.
Yes, this is true. Strange question. Anybody carry diamond on them, perhaps? Just asking. No,
Not just yet, no. Maybe
Okay.
someday.
I have a
Never-
crystal, but no diamond. What would you need with a diamond?
Is focus, material components, so that I can be more effective, but is not a big deal at the moment.
Raziel kind of looks at you and says, I never put my money in gems.
Is not so much money as a tool for destruction.
Will this work? And I pull out the crystal, the Kyber crystal I have, the dragon shard.
It is a Cyberus shard. But yes. I mean, not yes, it will work, but yes, you have that shard.
Oh, Kyber crystals is Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Actually, yes, I think it is.
Kyber is
but
another
Kyber-
kind of dragon shard.
I think Kyber crystal is a thing in Star Wars, but there are in Eberron Kyber dragon shards.
Yes,
but
but
that's a
also-
different kind.
Yes.
Mhm.
Kyber, there was many lightsaber, but add again. We go too deep into Star Wars now.
The waters have been crossed.
I have a technical question for my DM real quick.
Sure.
With my pushing strike, it says I can knock somebody 15 feet. Could
Uh-huh.
I do that on an ally and throw them somewhere?
Sure. I guess you'd have to hit them, though.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the rafters. how to get up there.
It's okay. I have way up. Don't worry.
Pushing, just okay. When you said throw, I didn't. Okay, pushing 15 feet does not mean throwing vertically 15 feet for an enemy or an ally.
Okay.
He wants soccer kick man into sky.
Unfortunately, it's not quite that badass.
So do you think we can reason with them in there, or do we have to fight?
In order to have any chance of reasoning with them, we'll need to at least approach, right? And that would presumably provoke their attack. So we'll need to be ready to at least receive and intercept the initial wave of attacks before we do anything.
His thing, I could make area not so easy to see in case to stop the arrows, but would hinder us as well.
Since we'll be on the defensive, that's not such a bad thing. We could use the distraction to position ourselves more advantageously.
Is something I am willing to do. And once I do this, as you have seen, I can fly a little bit.
I can't fly, but I should be able to scale the wall if there's anything constituting a purchase. I'd like to get up on their level.
Is always possible I can pull them down to your level. Perhaps kick them down, pull them down, zap them down. I am known to do many things.
I'll defer to your creativity in that case.
Can I go up to like the door that's broken down and like try and peer into the room, or is that like a bad idea?
It could be a bad idea, but if you try and do that, I'm not going to stop you.
We do need to move forward, so perhaps we go with the little bit of skeleton plan we have now.
Yeah, maybe you do that once we finish the short rest.
Okay.
That's like step one. Rusty pokes his head through. Step 2, we use the smoke screen. Profit.
That is a fully fledged plan.
Question mark, profit. Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to go ahead and take your rest at this point?
Mm-hmm.
In expectation of rest, I had already rolled hit dice.
That's fine. It's okay. If you didn't click your short rest, go ahead and do so now. Roll however many hit dice you want to roll. Nobody has taken a rest yet so far, so everybody should have access to all 3 of their hit dice.
Yes, I have used my smaller, less effective sorcerer hit dice in this instance.
Very good.
Not my big manly cleric hit dice that I save.
Hashana, I know you're going to get your spell slots back. Do you also recover your bonus light healing pool, or no? What did I say? Bonus light? Your bonus healing light pool?
It didn't automatically do it, but I have 1 left.
Yeah, I think that might be a long rest feature, but I wasn't sure. If it didn't automatically do it, then it's not a short rest recharge. But you have 1 because you leveled up, so you gained 1. All right, cool. As you guys are resting for over that hour, you can see that Raziel is not doing so great. As I mentioned before, his skin is kind of pallid. There's a bit of a clammy, there's a bit of a sweat on his brow. and he's got this racking cough that kind of comes in bouts. And it's far from restful for Raziel.
I basically, like, at this point want to examine him more closely. Just to get an idea for whether his condition is deteriorating at a pace that we should be concerned about.
Sure, make a medicine. 12. With a 12, you can see that he's unsteady. Just a simple touch to his throat and waiting for a minute, you can tell his heart rate is quite elevated. I'd say that you can also tell that with a 12, him spitting blood earlier was not necessarily like coughing a whole thing of blood from his lungs. His mouth is also stained red from the drug itself. So you imagine that while there might be some blood coming from his lungs from all the heavy coughing he's doing, a lot of the reason that he keeps spitting like that is actually due to a swelling in his throat. How severe the condition is, you're not sure.
Okay. Raziel, if we need to leave and find you a healer, please let us know.
No. It's not as simple as that. Besides, we can't leave the Seeker here. It's probably be dead by the time we gain back.
If that is your will.
I don't know how much use I'm going to be up there. I don't think I can take any more of the blood.
Hang back then.
I'll at least try to take a couple of shots, but it's the best I can do.
If you can take shots without putting yourself at risk, then feel free to do so. But we're here to rescue the Seeker on your behalf. It wouldn't do well for you to keel over or die before we do so.
No. And without me,
Hearing those,
I doubt that you'll get a warm reception from him either.
Raziel, I need you alive. How can I help you?
There isn't much. It's the price you pay. I've been using this drug far too much over the last few weeks. I think it's time I clean up. It's going to come with a cost. There's no getting around that.
Well, are we ready?
I'm ready. And I turn to Shauna and say, "You did well back there, little one. This time, stay behind me."
Thank you, Rusty. I will stay behind you and afar so I can use that Eldritch Blast.
And I guess it's action time.
You guys tell me when you're ready. Do you have any other plans, anything else? Or you let me know when you're ready.
So are we going to try and negotiate, or are we just going in? What's the plan? And I look to the rest of you guys. I'm not a commander, I'm a follower.
Rusty, if we can get in there and you are able to open a conversation, we will pursue it to the best of our ability. But we can't rely on that being a possibility.
Okay. Good plan. And then I start walking towards the door.
I'll
Alrighty.
follow closely behind him.
So I'm going to walk into this room, but before I do so, I'm going to use a superiority die to activate Evasive Footwork. So if anybody takes a shot at me, I can dodge out of the way of some stuff.
Can you put the text of that in the VTT for me?
Maybe. Let's see.
Oh, it just hold. Yep.
So while I'm walking, I'll get a +5 to AC.
Okay, that puts your AC at a what?
23.
Okay. Where are you moving to?
Just going right into the middle of this room. This is where they said the ambush was, right? This room.
You're walking like into the center of the room.
Yes.
Okay. Boom. All right.
And I'll wait at the threshold.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you're saying as you come in?
Hello, sirs or madams. Do not shoot. We are here to exchange words.
Stepping inside, you can see not just the bodies on the ground. One here peppered with bolts in the back. The other here less intact than it may appear in this depiction. Unfortunately, you can also see that some of the armor on this one has been pulled off carelessly. It's kind of sitting just to the side, pool of blood gathering around the helm there. You can also see that above this level, not only is there a ladder here leading up, but above is a secondary level, which you can kind of see below. Do you guys see that there?
Mm-hmm.
It's the best way I can do vertical stuff.
Yeah, I got it. It works.
Which I guess means I should do this. Right, did that work? Did it work? Yeah, there we go. Double rusty. And as you step inside, there is no response to your call. Save for 3 bolts coming right at you.
Bring it on. Hit me with a 23.
Unfortunately for you, one of them actually critted. So it doesn't matter what your AC is if they... which, boy, have I critted a lot of times against you guys. Most of the bolts, as you dodge in quite quickly, shouting, "Sir or madam?" And most of them go wide, left and right. 2 of them go on either side of you as you're kind of serpentine charging in, getting the lay of the land. But one does catch you dead center for 6 piercing damage.
I guess this answers the question, yeah?
One of our questions.
Unfortunately. I'm going to run behind Thomvel and watch Rusty get hit with the bolt. But I'm also plugging my nose because it smells putrid and I hate it.
It does. There is a rank smell, a mustiness, but also the sickly sweet of decay. Rusty, you can also kind of see up this hallway a bit, I suppose. Just reveal that. It's fine.
How high up is this?
It is about 15, maybe 15 to 20 feet up. Let's say 15. Let's not make it big. Rusty, if you're just going to stand there, then I guess we need to roll initiative. I mean,
Well, I want to keep talking to him. I'll say, I'm willing to overlook that. There's a man here with me who's intent on killing all of you, and I do not think there's need for more violence. Come out and we can have words.
Is okay. While he says this, I will roll initiative because I do plan to attack regardless.
Let him try. You hear a voice from above shout, and you can see these figures kind of duck down, but you can just see the tops of their heads as they duck back down after taking shots at you. Yeah, you can all roll initiative. Great planning. That was a nice move to use your evasive footwork. It's too bad you got critted. Sorry.
Pretty cool. Otherwise,
Nice catch, Blanco.
You're also pretty lucky with how low we rolled on that crit. Are these going into a turn tracker? They are actually. Well, some of them did. Thomvel, you're in. Boka, you're in. Hashana, I will add you.
mine didn't pop up, but I got a 19.
Okay. Yeah, these new changes are not great, are they? We'll do a 19. Raziel will say followed you guys up a little bit, though he's hanging back, and we'll add him in. Okay, 15. Can you guys see the turn on tracker this time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it must be because I kind of migrated to another map. And then we'll... You guys did well with your initiative. And then we'll make this. Alrighty. Thomvel, you get the first reaction. Rusty will be on deck.
All right. So I take 2 steps forward into the room after the crossbows have been discharged. And I look around me. I see the ladder on the far end. And I see that there are 3 people waiting at the top of that ladder.
Mm-hmm.
To my left, I see just the one.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually want to look directly to my left, just past this bloodied corpse, and see if there is some potential way of getting up onto that scaffold without taking the ladder up. Could I just, take a running jump, get up on this coffin, say, leap up to the 2nd level and pull myself up?
The coffin is directly below.
Okay.
So it's not going to act very well as a stepping stone.
As he passed, could I say, if you're going to attack one at the bottom. I have plans.
At bottom. There are none on the first floor.
I meant the one
On the
to
left.
the south. South.
Yeah, okay.
I say I'm way ahead of you. But yeah, basically, how first of all, how high up is that platform?
15 feet.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance?
I don't know. What makes you say that?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. What do you have at your disposal?
Oh, man.
I mean, you're not
know
just
what?
going to jump 15 feet. At least you
Okay.
are not.
Right. That is not something Thomvel can do. All right. So here's what is going to happen in that case.
You can make ranged attacks.
Yes, I can.
They have half cover.
Mm-hmm. I will not be making a ranged attack, however. I will look to my left, up at the attacker on my left side, point at them. A booming voice will erupt from my diaphragm, and I will say, approach, and cast command at them.
At which one?
The one on the bottom of the diagram.
Okay.
Yes, the one by themselves.
All right, that's a wisdom saving throw, I take it?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. What's the DC?
12.
Well, it doesn't matter much with a natural 1. Approach. I know that you're hoping that he'll just leap over the railing.
Yep.
But I'm not so sure that I would say that he will do that. He can approach. He can either make his way towards the ladder or move kind of like up that way.
The target moves towards you by the shortest and most direct route, ending its turn if it moves within 5 feet of you.
Yeah, that's fine, but command also says that they won't do things that are obviously harmful to themselves, like leaping
Oh, I
from
know.
a height.
Yeah. I think basically what I'm saying is like he ought to move toward the ladder instead of just like moving
Yeah,
to the right, you
Fair
know?
enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so he can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't want them standing on top of each other, so we'll just put him... Magically, he gets an extra 5 feet. Well, actually, he needs to spend his whole... Well, first of all, what am I doing? I'm way ahead of myself. First of all, this is going to happen on his turn. Second of all, does it say they spend their entire turn doing that as best they can? I think it does. So he's probably going to spend his dash action, but that'll be on his turn.
Right.
Needless to say, he failed his save, and that is your action.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a reminder here.
And then, yeah, because that's all I'm doing, I'm gonna just like walk out and then duck back behind the wall.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stay in the middle of the room.
Rusty, you are up. Voka, you are on deck.
So the ladder is 15 feet tall, so I guess that's like 15 feet of movement if I try and climb it.
Yeah. It is a ladder, so it's not like difficult terrain or anything, but yeah, that's vertical movement.
I think Rusty is just... Do I get a good look at him? Like, I can see on the map that like one of them looks different than the others, but like, can Rusty see any of that? Or can you tell which guy was the guy that responded to him?
You can tell that that's the guy who leaned up and shouted, and it was also the only one that did not fire a bolt at you, at least in the initial volley.
All right, I'm going to run and climb up that ladder.
Okay.
After that guy, and see my movement. I got 30 feet.
You have 30, so you would have to dash to get up to the top.
Yeah. 1, 2. So I'm gonna dash up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of nowhere, Rusty just sprints with incredible blinding speed, which we did not expect from someone from this size. He's gonna get right up in this guy's face, and he's just gonna try and persuade him again and say, "Hey, seriously, we don't need to fight right now." Just right up in this guy's face. Maybe I'm trying to intimidate him.
You can go ahead and make an intimidation check.
All right. 11.
I think we do. As he gets ready, you can see that he is well armored and he brings a shield to bear in front of him.
I think that's gonna be my turn then. I'm just gonna stay there.
Alrighty.
Also, my weapon is away because I'm not trying to hurt people. I only brought out my hammer because it was zombies.
See how that turns out for you. Vuka, you are up.
Now I feel bad for friend Rusty for getting to go before me, because now he happens to be within my zone of influence and planning. Okay. Vuka screams in a primal rage. Lightning arcs start covering my body. I run forward about 20 feet. I leap another 10 feet in the air and suddenly float 10 more feet up and unleash a thunderous boom heard within 300 feet from everywhere at everything within. Let's see, I draw the shape. Everything over here is all getting the thunderous wrath.
Okay.
I think I've taken more damage from Voga than anybody else.
This is unfortunate positioning for you.
Hilarious. How are you kind of getting? So I know you can fly up 10 feet.
So I can jump double normal. So I will run 20 feet, jump 10 feet, fly another 10 feet before spell.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think I'm going to trouble you because you have ways to get up.
I do. This all works because there's no actions involved. And then the Thunder Wave here is they need to make a save, I believe, Constitution saving throw, or take 3d8 thunder damage. But because I am me, it will not be 3d8 thunder damage. It will be 24 thunder damage flat if they fail.
Jesus Christ. All right, from left to right. What's the DC?
Let me check again. It's written in there. Let me see.
I think it's 12, isn't it? I think it's 12, right?
DC Constitution saving. I believe it's 12.
Okay. This one fails. The other two succeed.
Okay, so they take half damage.
Rusty fails. I take 24 damage.
Rusty also take 24 damage. If they have failed, they get pushed 10 feet
from the point of origin?
away from me. So I guess into wall and probably fall prone.
Does it say they fall prone?
No, they just slam into wall.
Yeah. Okay. With a shattering crack, Rusty, you feel a reverberation that just blasts you forward immediately. Can you take 24 damage?
I can. I don't got much left after that. Actually, I'm actually at 1 hit point now.
I had been here before. This is not so good.
This one is... I'm sorry, this is the one that failed. This one is blasted backwards, hits the wall, and you hear a crack as he just slumps against it and is immediately defeated. The other two are startled by a powerful opening gambit, but remain conscious. Oh my god. Just dealt 48 damage at level 3.
I look at the commander and say, I told you so.
It's not too late to come to terms, yes? And then I end my turn.
Very good. Raziel. Raziel will take a couple steps forward so that he can at least see into the room. He'll try to take a shot, but you can see his hands are kind of shaking as he does so. and he is unsuccessful. Man. Okay. Recovering from that blow, this one here is going to I think start by shoving. Is a shove an attack? I think a shove is an attack, right? No, you have to replace all of your attacks if you shove, right?
No, you only have to replace one.
Okay. He will take an attack on Rusty. Rusty, you got crit again.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
I've never crit this much. I crit you guys so often.
I too have noticed this.
Okay. I'm not going to feel that bad about it because of what you just did. So sorry, Rusty, but
We're going to be very hard to kill even with critical hits, I feel like.
yeah. That is 12 damage to you, Rusty.
That puts me at unconscious.
He will then, as a bonus action, look to Voka, and he will shout, "You think you can just strike at us and then run like that? You will face me like a man!" As he shoves Rusty over the edge.
I look around and say, I do not appear to be running.
Is that a compelled duel?
It is a compelled duel, actually. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Seven.
You are affected by the compelled duel. You are drawn to him, compelled by divine demand. For the duration, you have disadvantage on attack rolls against any creature other than him. And anytime you try to move further from him in any way, you must make a wisdom saving throw to do so. Even a success on that saving throw only spares your movement for that turn. If you attack... Oh, no, that's for him. Yeah, so basically you have to approach him, and you have disadvantage to attack anyone else.
This still seems like a bad choice on his part.
We shall see. All right, that is his turn. The others will now let loose a series of volleys. They will mostly... I think, well, they only have 2 shots. I forgot this one's already dead. Jeez. Man, I remember when I thought this encounter was going to be hard. Okay, they're going to take a shot. One at Voka and one at Thambel. That is a failure on Voka. And a 21 to hit Thambel.
It sure is a hit. Give it to me.
Give it to me, bitch. That's 5 piercing.
Cool. Give me that sweet, sweet bolt.
As it catches you, grazing past some of your relatively lighter armor. I mean, I know what kind of armor you're wearing, but I believe you described it as quite open in design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My fancy... It tore my fancy tunic.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have words.
The price you pay for aesthetics. Hashana,
Me
are
and this
up.
one.
That one guy has to move towards Thambel, right?
Oh. Gosh. Man, I'm messing up.
Oh no, Taylor.
I'm completely sober today too. He
Which
will.
which one was that, and who did he shoot at?
I didn't specify, did I? I mean, take your health back. Take your health back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll give him an extra 5 so that they're not on the same space. Oh, no. Wow, this is already on lockdown. Good job, guys. Hashana, you are up. God dang it.
Which one's dead?
The one with the skull on him. I can delete him if you guys prefer, but the skull here is already dead.
Gotcha. Okay, I just couldn't
You
see
should
it.
do the big red X symbol.
There is a red X icon you can put over
Oh,
their
really?
portrait. Yeah.
Yeah, and it covers the whole thing.
Oh, I
It's
see.
super obvious.
Yeah.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's like poison or something.
Nice. All right. So I notice poor Thomvel, and I gasp and relieved. But I move past him into the room, kind of letting everyone, exposing myself, and I am going to hit my Eldritch Blast to the one that is in the corner.
Okay. Very good. Go ahead, make an attack roll. He does have half cover for being above.
I'm pretty sure a 20 is going to do it.
Yeah, I got a 20. Should I roll for
sorry.
damages?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah, 20 will hit.
Ooh.
9 force damage, absolutely. As it blasts him backwards, and you can see that it's just as he's arriving here that he kind of blinks a little bit and wait, did he need to dash as well? I'm really messing up with this command spell.
Sorry.
Is he required to dash?
It says they spend their turn moving the most direct route toward me.
So I don't think you could incur a dash. It's probably just constant movement.
I mean, if that is what a dash is, that's constant movement
but
for a
it's
full
taking
turn.
an action to move, so they're probably not going to do that.
We don't care either way, Taylor. Whatever you decide.
I'll flip for it. You're hitting him either way. I'm not taking that from you, but I'm just wondering if he shouldn't be positioned there. 11 and up, he's down on the ground with you guys. That is a 10. He stays where he is.
Okay.
And you hit him for the 9, and it's around that time that he kind of shakes his head, blinks his eyes, and a bit of confusion as the effect of Thomvel's spell is wearing off, and it's just in that time as he's gathering himself again that he's suddenly blasted in the chest with this quite powerful force. Kind of growls and gets ready. Anything else, Shoshana?
My gut is saying that she notices the armor on the floor and takes it. Can I do that?
The helmet that's there?
Yes.
Yeah, you can pick it up and put it. Yeah. It's bloody.
Whatever, it's going to protect me, right? No.
Probably not. Putting it on would be more of an aesthetic choice. There are rules around donning armor in D&D, especially.
You might catch a disease from it.
Yeah.
You probably.
Oh no, we're putting it down. We're putting it.
Because you're not proficient, you're probably just putting it on like all wrong.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
Never mind.
It's a little bit silly when you try to picture it in practice. But if you're not proficient in heavy armor, it's hard to picture. I can't figure out how to put a helmet on. But if you're not proficient in the armor, then no, it's not going to help you.
It's not the putting it on; it's the moving around in it that is reflected in your proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, you could put it on, but you're pretty confident it would just make it way harder for you to tell what the heck was going on. In this Templar's helm with a slit, you're not used to fighting like that. Like,
forget it then. I'm finished.
All right, very good. Thomvel, you're up. Rusty, you're on deck. Well, Rusty, you're just gonna be making a save, I guess.
Or will he?
Or will he?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep, I can just barely make it to Rusty. As I do, I kind of like slide on my knees over to him to finish out the movement and grab him by the shoulder, performing lay on hands for, let's just go with 10. I'll give him 10 hit points.
Much appreciated.
That ends my movement, and I think I don't have anything else to do, so I will just I'll just stay here.
Is it an action for you to do the lay on hands?
Yes, it is an action.
Okay. 10 hit points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. It's back in the game, just in time.
Back at it. That's my go?
It is your go, Rusty. Voka, you're on deck.
All right. Rusty, you just... he was trying to negotiate, and suddenly he was killed out of nowhere by a blast of thunder. And then this guy stabbed him and pushed him off the edge, and now Rusty is not happy. So you see his eyes go red again, his hammer comes out, and he takes, what is it called? The second wind. Rusty gets his second wind, which is 1.
I think it's a 1d10. Actually, is it more than one? No, it's just 1d10 plus your constitution. No, plus your fighter level.
Plus 3.
It's plus your fighter level, yeah.
Yeah, so I get 7 more.
Very nice.
And I dash right back up that ladder.
Boom. You're up there.
And then I said, we could have solved this peacefully. And then I'm going to take my hammer and I'm going to swing at him with a pushing strike if I hit.
Okay. A 13. A 13, unfortunately, will not do it as he brings his shield up and readies his sword once more.
And then as I clang off his sword, I get an even more. I take a action surge. So I'm pissed now. I clang off and I swing again, trying to hit him.
Boom, boom, do it.
First one was a 25. I did it twice. 25 to hit, which is a crit.
It is a crit. Go ahead, roll damage.
So it's gonna be.
Easy come, easy go. I crit you. It's only fair. It's only fair.
So I roll. That's 5 on the die, so that's 10 plus 3 is 13, plus my superiority die, which is a D8. Which is a 5, so I do 18 damage, and he's going to make a strength saving throw. But I want to specify this is non-lethal damage, because he doesn't want to kill anybody.
18 damage. And he will make the strength saving throw. I'm not really sure what's going to happen if he fails it. He has I think 16. Yeah, 16. Actually, an 18, but...
Alright, then it's just 18 damage to him.
Question, did you double the superiority die?
No, do we do that for a crit?
You absolutely do.
Then
That's wild.
It's 23
Dice
damage.
so nice you roll them twice. Anything that gets rolled gets doubled. 23, so an extra 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's rude AF.
How is it an extra 4? Oh, so you rolled a 7 for the main damage die.
Well, I roll.
Doubled that to 14, then added the 4 of the superiority to get 18. And now you're adding another 4. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. It's
Okay.
24.
Let me look at the logs. His superiority die was a 5.
Ay. Alrighty.
Isn't math fun?
It's so good.
Rusty, make a perception check while you are fighting with this guy.
Sure. 4. He's very focused in on this right now. He's not paying attention to anything else.
You are indeed. And your ears are still ringing from a massive blast at almost point blank range that pretty much did you in. Is that your turn?
Yeah. That's my turn.
It was a good turn. Volko, go ahead.
He's
Oh,
holding
sorry.
up a shield, right? I imagine I'm not trying to do anything clever. I just hit him directly square in the middle of the shield, just trying to break it.
And you push it so far back, you can see that you force his arm like in at himself, and it basically twists his elbow as just from the sheer force of it, and forces him into a defensive stance. That is it. Volko, you're
That's
up.
it.
Okay. So I will move directly beneath him. I assume I am still compelled to attack this man.
You are.
This poor bastard is going to get lightning lured, and I will pull him off the battlements down to me.
Okay. Is that a saving throw?
12, DC 12 strength save.
He is passing with a 16.
Unfortunate, but I will stay here and say, "Come down," and end my turn.
Okay.
Do I have to take full movement towards him because I still have some left?
Yeah, I think you do.
Okay, I
On a
come
failed
up
save,
ladder.
you're drunk. Federation has to. Blah, blah.
There's no place for me to stand.
As long as you're within 30 feet. It doesn't say that you have to go towards him.
Okay.
But you may not move further from him.
Wait.
End your turn within 30 feet.
Compelled duel ends if you attack any other creature. Didn't he attack Rusty?
You're right, he did.
This changes
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think he did. He did compelled duel after he knocked me off the ledge, I think.
Yes, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Wait.
We know what we have. End of turn.
No, he's right. He hasn't attacked since then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, his turn's coming up soon.
Yeah. Hasn't been a full round yet.
I'm good where I'm at.
All right.
Scared me. Alrighty. Raziel will make an attempt, but will fail, as he is not doing well anymore. Let's just go ahead and do this. Which one did you say is poisoned? There you go. That's poisoned now. Looks like a chalice full of poison. All right. Now he will. I don't think he has like any real choice here.
We can still end this peacefully. There's no need for you to die here. I say right up in his face.
He's gonna.
I do not agree.
He's going to make an acrobatics check to jump down the ladder. Successfully. He's going to land next to you, Devoka. Rusty, you can take an attack of opportunity.
I will do so.
$22 hits.
22 to hit. $13 damage.
He dies. He falls off the.
Well, it's going to be non-lethal because it's coming from Rusty.
Sure.
Just
You
trying to
catch him
knock
in
him
the
out.
legs as he tries to swing over, completely ruining his jump. And he instead falls flat on the ground next to the Voka. Unconscious. The Voka, the compelled duel ends on you. The others will take their shots. With a single success, I will say on Hashana, let's share the love. Hashana, you will take 6 piercing damage.
Is that their turn?
That's their turn. Yeah,
Okay.
Hashana, you're up.
Oh.
Sorry.
So it's my turn. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm here. So I am going to. I'm going to advance a little closer and use Mind Sliver.
You have 2 targets.
Same one in the corner.
Okay. He makes a wisdom saving throw, I think, right? Or some kind of saving throw. Intelligence?
Intelligence.
He is failing. So you can roll a d6 on him.
I rolled a
A 2?
Yeah.
You see him kind of wince, and once more, this guy's had his mind played with a lot in the last 12 seconds, and it's not doing good for him. It's wreaking havoc on his confidence. Do you have anything else, Hashana?
No, I don't think so. Not right.
Okay, very good. Thomvel, you are up. Rusty, you're on deck.
All right. I'm going to run forward, place a hand on Voka's shoulder, and then just fly up this ladder.
Sure.
I'm not doing anything when I place my hand on your shoulder. I'm, if anything, just using it as additional leverage to aid in my trajectory of movement. And then I'll lunge into this crossbowman in the corner, slashing out twice.
Yes, it
Sure.
makes sense. I am very large and tall, so I am good leverage point for climb. Luckily
Yes.
for you, I am also not difficult terrain.
There's only one of us who is difficult terrain in this party.
Hey, there are a bunch of you on the ground there, and zombies all around, right?
Yes. No, Thomvel fully embraces his difficult terrain feature. All right. So Revenant Blade, first attack 23.
Okay, yeah, you're hitting.
That's 8 damage.
Very good.
With
He
the-
is actually unconscious.
Ooh, so then what you're saying is
Or dead.
I
As you prefer.
could, I mean, whichever, I don't care. He can make death saves if he wants. Use my back end to swing at the other guy.
Very
So,
nice.
like,
Yes, you
I
can.
swing out, the guy goes down, I see that he's going down, and just carry through with the motion, and basically cleave through
Yep.
with a few more steps. Wow, 22.
Yep, you're hitting him.
Come on, damage. Okay, that's not working now either. Alright. So I'm rolling damage in D&D Beyond. Okay, they came up this time. 4.
Very nice. He's still hanging on. You want to tell me about how this badass twirl of death went down?
Absolutely. I mean, beyond what I've said before, it's just like I get up the ladder, say I actually like stow the thing on my back somehow. There's like a strap. I just like climb up the ladder in 3 solid bounds. When I get up, I just like lunge into the guy with my shoulder before just slicing upward with the scimitar, and then twirl it above my head. And we'll say I stab the other guy, even though it's a slashing weapon. And then retract it, take a few steps back, and then I'm just kind of like back to back with Rusty.
Very nice. Yeah. He is Dunzo, that guy. And Rusty, you are up.
So there's one guy left standing.
Just one.
I'm going to hold out my left hand. My palm's going to open. I'm going to shoot a net at him to try and restrain him.
Okay. Fantastico.
16 to hit.
A 16 will hit.
All right. Now he is restrained.
Very nice. Is that your turn?
Yep. And I say, it's over. Talking to the guy to like get him to stop fighting.
Very good. Voka, you are up.
Is he prone and restrained?
I don't think so. I think he's just restrained.
Do you intend to keep fighting? I will take silence as an acknowledgement of yes.
I'm reading Annette.
So he can use his turn to get
To
out.
free himself, yeah.
Or slash it.
But he's just restrained. It doesn't say anything about him being prone.
Yep.
Okay. Enough time has passed.
He is lost. Yeah, do as you like. Yeah.
I will pull him down to me with lightning lure. He will then be prone.
Sure. As restrained, I think he's at least got to have disadvantage on this. I don't know if he automatically fails. Does he automatically fail?
Let me look. I do not believe so. Can't benefit attack roll. Oh, attack rolls have advantage and has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, but not strength.
That sounds about right.
In that case, he is succeeding on the saving throw. He rolled a 15 and a 16.
Eventually, I will pull you down. End of turn.
Very good. Very, very good.
I feel like if you're restrained, your success on a strength saving throw should depend on whatever is restraining you.
The net?
Right?
What do you mean? Does that mean the net saved him?
I don't know.
I guess the idea here is that while he has a net around him, throwing this lure, that doesn't mean he can't pull against the lure that's coming at him. I don't know.
It's a weird edge case, I feel like, in the rules.
It is. It is indeed.
It's still lightning. Must be unpleasant.
Probably should have just let it happen. Raziel will make an attempt with a 14, which is not quite good enough. Just barely didn't make it. He's dead. He can spend his action to throw a net off him if he passes a strength check, which I'm sure he does with a natural 17. He'll throw the net off of himself, look about, and do the only thing that makes even a little bit of sense, which is try to run away. He will... disengage would prevent all attacks of opportunity. He will...
But he's already used his action to get it out of the net, so he doesn't have...
You're right. He doesn't. All he will do is move for 30 feet along the top. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You are correct, sir.
This man is not so swift. He has to come down eventually.
Does that mean he provokes from me?
It sure does.
Oh boy. I'm still swinging, actually, at this point. I did my stab. I got back. Never mind. I just lunge forward from being next to Rusty and swing downward with the scimitar after him.
Sure.
Wow, 19.
Do it.
I'm very accurate today.
You sure are.
Must be nice.
7 damage.
Sure. He is down for the count as he tries to get away from you.
That was my minimum damage.
He didn't have much of a leg to stand on at that point.
Yeah.
And perhaps now he doesn't. Does he have a leg to stand on?
I'm not into severing limbs. Thomville is a little more graceful than that.
Zombies only.
I just very cleanly, like a scalpel, I wield this thing. I cut maybe his like a tendon in his lower leg to prevent him from running away as he falls over on his face.
Are you trying to describe non-lethal damage, or?
Sure.
I mean, I'm just asking since you're basically sitting
no.
hamstringing.
No, I don't need to kill him.
Okay. You get his Achilles, and you basically hamstring him. He collapses onto the ground there, losing blood quickly and rapidly, spiraling towards unconsciousness.
As he falls over, I raise the blade above me and do the thing where I like swing it to shake off the blood.
There's like
yes.
like a line across the wall.
Yeah.
Where it's like in a spray.
I don't have a sheath for it, so I can't do that part.
Oh, upon seeing that, Hashana gagged.
Hashana, you are free to spend your turn and any further turns gagging as we are finished with our initiative count. Congratulations, everybody, for absolutely destroying a fight that I actually thought was hard. Okay.
It would have been very hard if not for that big spell, I feel like.
It was hard for me, but not because of the enemies.
Yes, I feel I first must apologize to friend Rusty. You know, heat of battle, you seem to be in line. You know, it's hard to not kill everything in front of me. You know, I can't target these things.
I understand. Nod.
Thomvel is nodding as you're saying this, already having taken this mental note.
It is best to keep in mind that sometimes maybe not be directly in front of where I probably am going to shoot. I mean,
So
for
I will.
what you must. I will do my best to bring you back. Of course, I will get you back up and heal you. But you know, I can't let it hold me down.
I will casually just like leap down from the ledge, just kind of like slamming both my hands on the ground to cushion the blow, and say, so what are we doing with this one? Looking at the leader on the ground.
Perhaps I can take my turn at intimidation this time.
You may.
Okay, I will manifest some black lightning eyes. You know, very shocking. I will make my voice boom very loud, and then I will slap him around a little bit to wake him up.
I forgot. Yeah, Rusty, you said this was non-lethal, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Rusty doesn't kill people.
Sure. You slap him. You slap him about. It takes a while. I think after a certain amount of time, someone will just kind of gain 1 hit point and become conscious. I take it.
This is how it works. Yes, we move his weapons away from him as well, and we don't need to restrain him. If he tries to fight, I will just punch him in the noggin.
Bind his mouth.
But his mouth is what I want to speak.
That could be tricky. His way of spellcasting is one I'm familiar with. If you allow him to talk, he may have more power than you anticipate.
I suppose we could bind his hands behind his back for now.
Better than nothing.
We'll do that really quick and then slap him awake.
Time up.
Yes, this is a good time.
You gagging him or no?
No, I want to hear him speak.
Okay. Very good. Take his weapons, you tie him up, kind of prop him against one of those tombs. Kind of give him a slap as he comes to consciousness. Rusty, what you completely failed to notice earlier cannot be missed at this point. It is clear to all, but only means something to you. His blade shines like crystal.
Oh, shit. Do I only notice that when he comes awake?
You noticed it, Wall. You have time to react to that. Why, does that change anything as far as the tying and the...
No, it just changes how angry I am at this guy. So when he wakes up, I'm just going to grab him by like the scruff of his neck and like hold him up in front of me and say, "Where did you get that sword?"
As he comes to, barely, just kind of barely gaining consciousness and then immediately being lifted up by you as you pull him up into the air and shout at him. And he's basically loopy as he comes to and looks at the blade. What do you care about the fucking sword?
Who gave you the sword? I'm gonna shake him.
Yeah, you kind
Like
of
a ragdoll.
rattle him around. Good. Give me an intimidation check.
All right, let's see if we're good on this one. Do I get advantage because I'm literally holding him in the air?
Before he does the thing, I will touch him on the back and give him some guidance to help him with his intimidation.
Sure.
We can cover this whenever this is resolved, but I'm meanwhile going to be picking up the sword and inspecting it intently.
Sure. I'm not going to give you advantage because this is what intimidation is supposed to look like.
Fair enough.
But the DC isn't terribly high. This guy doesn't have much of a negotiating position.
So it's a 10, and I get another D4.
That is correct.
That's a 2, so 12 intimidation.
A 12. He kind of looks down at you, says, got it from a forge. Same place they made you. And he spits in your face.
I'm going to throw him to the ground.
Thuds hard. And as he kind of clutches his side.
Okay, I step down and I start playing good cop. I say, look, he's very angry. I do not know why, but maybe you should answer questions, yeah?
Turns over on the ground and looks up at you. What do you want?
Well, who are you? What are you doing here? Who is your daddy? What does he do?
What is this, a fucking exit interview?
It very well
might be.
I like we're all on the same page.
Yes.
Why should I tell you shit?
I assumed you value your life in some way.
Yeah. I don't think... You think I'm going to spend the last couple seconds of my life squealing everything I know? You're sadly mistaken.
Well, as a disclaimer, I will probably leave it up to my friends what they want to do to you after I ask these questions. But I wanted to let you know, I do not have a torture policy. I do not torture. So when I feel you have reached the end of your usefulness, I will just kill you.
Exactly.
Or You could possibly live throughout the day if you make yourself useful. That was the implication. You seem to be a little hard-headed.
I tell you what what you want to know, then I'm not useful, then you kill me. So why would I fucking tell you anything?
I just said you could possibly leave. Why would we kill you? This man knocked you off with a hammer. He could have killed you easily up there many times.
Rusty, what is it about this sword?
I need to know where these swords are coming from, because one with a sword like this is responsible for killing one of my sisters.
I see. So it's not so much the sword, but the people who are wielding it.
Correct. And I have an idea who they are, but I'm not supposed to say who it is.
By the way, Dan, sorry, I forgot that you said that you were inspecting it. Taking a cursory glance at that blade, you can see that it is the blade itself that is crystalline, the hilt being a more common metal. You can see that the pommel has actually been removed from the bottom of it. And that's probably about all you can tell. It does have, it is opaque. It's not like a dragon shard. It is a somewhat cloudy, kind of pale white opaque crystal. And it is.
So it doesn't have a pommel?
It does not. The pommel being, if I'm thinking of this right, just the very bottom part of the hilt. It still has a cross guard and a hilt and a place to hold it, but the pommel is just the very, very bottom part.
My brain was equating the pommel and the hilt. So yeah,
Hashana, I'm sorry, Hashana, what are you up to right now?
I am I'm gonna wonder what Thumvel's doing, because I'm also interested in the sword and what it means. So I'm gonna ask Rusty again, what's so important about, oh no, I already know that, sorry. I'm just going to listen to what is going on with Thumvel and Rusty to find out more information.
There is, assuming that you are up here and you are taking a look, make a perception check, Hashana.
I rolled a 20.
Yeah. As Thumvel is turning this sword over in his hands and examining it, and you're hearing Rusty shouting about his sister, the voices kind of fade a little bit from your mind as your eyes focus in on this blade, are drawn to it, and you kind of lose focus a little bit on your surroundings around you. And as you're just kind of watching Thumvel idly turn it, inspect it, but your eyes are trained on that blade, and you kind of, it's almost like you hear something, a low hum, a sudden vibration, a pulse. And you can feel this sort of energy that just is off-putting to you in the presence of this blade. It's there for a moment and it absorbs your attention. And then just like that, it's gone, and you're back into the room. And you're watching as Thumvel turns it over once more.
As your consciousness returns to you, it's right at the moment where I'm saying, we'll be taking this with us then.
His sword?
Yes.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I think it might come in handy later.
You think so? Would you like to hold it?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
I prefer to travel light, so if it's all the same to you. I extend my arm and point the blade downward and give you the handle.
Hashana takes the sword and can I
sorry.
identify it?
Oh, you can as a ritual do that if you'd like to take the time to do so. Take about 10 minutes.
Yes. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to try to identify the sword. It will take me some time. Do you mind if I try?
The more
10 minutes.
information we have, the better. And then I turn back to the guy on the ground.
Yes, I'll say that time could be spent on this man deciding on his fate, I suppose.
Sounds good.
I haven't even heard the question.
He's lying on the floor. I'm gonna put one foot on his chest, like right below his neck, like, so it's obvious that if I step down, that'll be the end of him, and say, I'm gonna ask one more time, where did you get the sword?
You can make another intimidation check.
I will gently reach out and give him more guidance.
It's
All
fine.
right. That's another 10 plus 4, 14.
Go. A little bit better, but DCs tend to come in twos, don't they? It was issued. I'm not the only one who carries it.
Was it from house? And then I lean in close so nobody else can hear. Was it from House Denieth?
What do you think?
I think it was from House Denieth.
Very clever.
I feel like I'm a little too close to not be able to hear this. But if you'd rather I not, then that's fine.
You can make a perception check. Rusty,
Yeah.
make a stealth check with disadvantage.
I already have a disadvantage on all stealth checks.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Oh wow, I rolled a 5 for perception, so
Let's
you
go
might
stealth.
be. Oh my lord.
Yeah, Voka, you're fine. It's not a situation where it would be easy to just
I got a 3 on stealth.
pull him up so close that you whisper something to him, and then also have him reply in such a way where no one can hear it. Although his answer was a little bit vague. Yeah, no, you guys can hear him say that.
Mm-hmm. I don't respond, but just a mental note.
I take my foot off of him. I pick him up and put him on his feet and say, I'm a man of my word. You're free to go.
Well, just a moment, please. I have a few more questions. I mean, you will live today, probably. I'm just saying, are you? Why are you here? The sword and everything about you. Are you a blade mark? What is this?
Take my orders from the house. And any good mercenary does not give up his orders simply because he's been captured.
I would argue you're not a very good mercenary. I mean, here we are, 4 of us, 4 of you. That wasn't even hard.
Do I know what a blade mark is?
Make a history check.
$22.
Yes, you do. A blade mark is a mercenary branch of House Denieth.
All right. Okay.
You do not have to be a Dragonmarked member. First of all, with all of the houses, you can work for the house and without actually having the Dragonmark. But particularly for the Blade Marks, one branch of House Denieth, which is overall a mercenary house, lots of different people from all places over the world, including even some monstrous races, like not monstrous, like some goblins, orcs, goblinoids have been hired. Denieth does not quarrel too much with like who they will hire, and if you're kind of one of those miscellaneous grab bags of people who is taking on work with House Denieth, you're going to most likely be a blade mark, rather than being kind of brought into the house proper. That is their secondary mercenary group.
Is okay. Now I have a more clear picture. You are just providing security and so on. I mean, is what you do. You have failed in this instance, so I suppose you should leave. But perhaps out of some sort of gratefulness that you get to live, you could tell us what we may need to know. Who were you after? Why you are here? I mean, give us something.
Here for some priest.
Priest. Priest does not quite fit the description of the man we are looking for.
Well, regardless, it seems that you have counted your victims as, well, I don't see any priests among your victims here. Do you know who these men are?
Are you talking about the two dead?
Yes.
That were dead when you came in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell from their armor. Anyone can.
Well, there should be a third. Any idea where she went?
Didn't see him.
Did you fight the undead, or was this part of your lexicon, or so whatever it is?
We weren't planning for them. When they came, figured why not let them do the hard work.
Is good idea. You will still have to deal with them on the way out, so I suppose we've already taken care of that for you as well.
I suppose so. Gee, thanks.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, if you choose to leave now, we won't make any attempt to turn you in. That would be a waste of our time. So I guess you'd be on your own.
Just kind of looking between you all slowly.
It's
Not
okay.
really believing it.
Everybody else stay here. I will walk this man out. I pick up his weapon. I hand it to him. We walk to the corridor. I say, "Come on. I will take you to the entrances."
Can you give him back the sword? I thought you guys took the sword.
No. Oh no. Oh, crystal sword. Yes, I give him someone else's sword. You know, he needs defense on the way out.
I make a very sure Jan face at Devoka as he's saying this. Mm-hmm.
And you lead him out of the room, Voka?
I do lead him out of the room. I'll wait from earshot.
Yeah, as you start to walk up, you see him kind of, once you get to about, I don't know, you get into this room, kind of stops, grips the sword. Are you walking behind him or ahead of him?
No, we're walking side by side. I tell him, now that we are away from other people's ears, you can really tell me, if you want, what you're doing here. I, too, was once a blade mark like yourself.
I know why you took me over here.
No, you don't. I'm not going to kill you. This is the thing. I have friends who still serve House Denieth. I'm actually going to let you go. I hold no ill feelings.
Make a persuasion check. It's gonna be tough.
No, I explained to him that I once served as a blade mark. I know I have friends. Mythos is a good man and is still a friend of mine. And I will persuade him. 11.
Not with an 11, my friend.
Why does no one ever believe me? Look, go. Just go. Maybe we talk later.
Kind of turns, kind of circles you without breaking eye contact until his back is to the door, and he kind of starts backing up. Once he's gotten a couple of steps away, he'll kind of turn and bolt.
Okay.
Make his way out.
So long.
While he's doing this, I'm just gonna make a cursory check around the other 3 ambushers to see if there is anything valuable on their persons, in addition to this crystal
sure.
blade we have come across.
Sure. You can see that most of them are garbed in light armor. In fact, all of them. These 3 are all wearing. I think they have regular leather on. None of them bear any markings, sigils, or anything like that. I would say that, like any living person, they probably have at least a small amount of a coin. Let's do some rolling. Why not? I will say that amongst the 3 of them, you are able to find 72 gold pieces. And why not? Let's give you a silver roll. That is actually, I think that's 100. I guess that equals 101. So 1 extra, 101 silver.
So I will divvy up those coins. That makes 18 gold pieces for each of us and 25 silver pieces for each of us. And then I'll just toss the extra silver piece up in the air, having no interest in it.
Blast ya!
Yeah.
Try to split this 4 ways.
Yeah.
I come back into the room just muttering to myself, like, why does no one ever believe me?
Hey, you threw the last guy over the roof.
I told him I was going to throw him over the roof.
You're a man of your word.
It's not a threat, it's a promise. Well, we have some information, I suppose. Still don't know where that other scout is. For all we know, she could be lying in wait, ready to attack us, thinking we're the ambushers. Doubt she could do much on her own, though.
I suppose we should move ahead. We still have someone we are looking for. Now 2 someones we are looking for.
How is everyone doing?
I look over at Rusty. I feel fine.
I'm fine.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah.
This guy has made his way out. He has made his exit. Raziel, who, by the way, gave quite a stink eye to this dude as he walked past, as you let him past Foka. Raziel will kind of make his way in. The tomb is at the end of the hall here. The last one.
Okay.
So,
We should move on. What does everyone think?
in other words, the Seeker is either there or not anywhere in here.
Unless he found another way out, I'm thinking he's in there.
If I peek around this hallway, the corner of this hallway, and look down, what is this circular thing I'm seeing?
It is. You probably need to get a little closer to answer that.
Okay, I
It
will.
is in the ground. It is on the ground. So it kind of looks raised from the way it's pictured, but it's not. As you are passing up here, you can also see that there is a small...
Oh yeah, I need to be diagonal.
Actually, that makes sense if you're facing to go down that way. Although unnecessary. Thambel, you can make an investigation check on this thing on the ground. There is a stone door ending this hallway. On the floor, you can see... Well, go ahead, give me that. An 8.
Just an 8.
It appears to have some writing around it, or at least markings around the base of it. It seems mundane, decorative at first. However, as everyone begins to join you, it actually begins to glow. These markings. And as it does so, sorry, I can't move anything. I was trying to move things. As it does so, the light actually extends and a faint shimmer crosses over that stone doorway. As Raziel walks up. What is this?
I was going to ask you the same question. I don't like the look of it.
Sure, I've never actually been to the tomb. Devolka, are you going down this passageway here?
Yes, I think before we deal with the magical construct that is weird, we will look down this passage first. I will go to the end.
Yeah, it's not very big. In fact, it's quite small. And perhaps doing her best to hide, though it is much impossible in such a small space, is a woman. Long brown hair with lightweight, sort of plaited mail. No, I'm sorry. That sounds like plate mail. Scale mail is what I really meant to say. But kind of very free in the arms and the shoulders, with just sort of a couple of these scales that go down to give free movement.
Really now?
Yes. And
okay.
You can see she has a short spear, and she crouches kind of low. And as you come up, she kind of thrusts, and you kind of step back just in time as it kind of goes right in front of you, and then she kind of pulls back real quick. Oops.
Okay, I will say, whoa! I mean you no harm. You must be the lady that Lastora and Mikhail said was hiding somewhere in here.
They sent you?
In a sense, we came upon them when we also entered. We have had battle with zombies and some sort of mercenaries that have kind of barred our way as well. We said if we could, I told Mikhail we would help you out, and so that you could get free of this place.
Mikhail's still alive?
Yes, he was very hurt, but the lady, she healed him a little bit, and then they went back to guard tower. It was something of this nature.
They've gone to the tomb. And you killed those zombies?
Yes, the zombies are dead. A number of the mercenary group is dead as well.
You can see her kind of look up for a moment. Give me... no check. You just kind of see her stop and think for a moment when you say that. She says, okay. So you're not from the tower then?
No, we just have intersecting interests in this location. We are looking for a certain individual, and believe that our paths are just aligning for a moment.
For the Seeker?
Yes, well, there's no need to lie. That is who we are looking for as well.
Well, so am I. We weren't able to get in through the door, though, or at least I wasn't. I was trying to figure it out at first, but, well, started hearing cries behind me, and then next thing I knew, the door was opening behind me, and those things came pouring out. I hidden here quickly enough, but...
Can I hear this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it's only like 20 feet away. You can definitely tell that Devoka is talking to someone.
Okay. I will walk over and step right next to Devoka and listen in.
Yes, do you have any insights for this magical construct thing to get past the door? I worry that we may have bitten off more than we can chew.
I don't know what it does, but it wasn't working when I first approached. I'm not sure.
Did you happen to see a light of some sort emanate from this circle?
It wasn't at first, but yes.
That must have something to do with how it works. I noticed it when I was not the only one approaching it.
When you were not the only one approaching it.
Yes,
The
when I
light.
had company.
Do you think it only lets one in at a time?
I think it doesn't let one in at a time. I think that perhaps many of us must cooperate somehow in somehow activating this circle and doing something to the door. These wizards do have a sick sense of humor sometimes.
Wizards. You think the Seeker put it there?
Please step a little bit more away so that, and I say a little bit under my breath so Raziel can't hear me as well. It's like, I do not trust Karnathi. They are dubious at best, always with the undead, everything.
Agreed.
It's just a feeling I get about the whole situation. Like, we are here for our purpose, you are here for yours, but I do not think we are going to move forward without more violence, and in that room is probably more violence.
Will you help me sure him?
I will have to talk with the rest of my people and see if our interests still align. Not all of us are here for the same reasons.
Why do you intend to capture the Seeker? What are you doing with him?
Well, first of all, he's a criminal. Second of all, he's an abomination. As all those things he sent after us.
Well then. Yeah, we'll help you capture him.
Kind of hear Raziel behind you. Kind of looks at you.
I'll shoot him a glance and put a hand out.
He's not feeling very confident about the mixed messaging, but he'll take your word for the moment.
I step in a little closer and still under my breath.
As you try to step forward, she actually steps between you and that coffin.
Oh, okay. That's good. Is there something interesting about the coffin?
Are you asking her or are you asking me?
No, I'm asking her.
About the coffin, she says, looking back at it.
Oh, you seem defensive, and I understand why. I just thought maybe it was because you were protecting this for some reason.
She looks at the skeleton that's there and says, I feel guilty enough for disturbing the resting place, but I had to hide here.
You do what you must. You are alive. This is all that matters.
Do I hear her say that?
Yeah.
I'm skeptical.
Okay. Roll an insight check.
Ugh. 2. Okay.
Checks out.
Yeah.
The silver flame. It makes some sense that a member of the silver flame might feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose after the hubbubaloo, I will also make an insight check, if that is okay.
Okay, you will be the only two who are allowed to make insight checks.
22.
Yeah. She positioned herself. I'd like to say that she did it casually, but clearly I, as the DM, did not do it nearly casually enough. She clearly positioned herself between you and that crypt. And there is that sort of stiff-backed nature of her kind of refusing to look at you. But more so than that, when she's talking to you, there is something off. She seems not just on guard. She does seem on guard. Of course she is. And the way that she laid out events makes sense. But there's something about her mannerisms, her posture, her voice, perhaps just faintly the lack of concern when you mentioned Mikhail or any of the other dead. Her behavior is a lot less like fear and anxiety and a lot more like affectation. She's not just lying to you. Her entire demeanor is a complete facade.
Okay, this is an unfortunate thing to see. One moment, please. I tell her one moment, and I step over to Domval and I say, what do you want to do here? But then I also cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself against undead, just in case.
How do you still have spell slot?
These are first level spell slots, you see. I have used all of my second level, and I have used only cantrips outside of that.
You didn't pass. You passed easily 2 spells in that first fight last session, right?
Yes, I cast Thunderwave, Thunderweave at level 2. I cast Cure Wounds on myself at level 2. I have cast 1 first level spell sometime in the past.
You protected me from good and evil at one point.
That was it. And then everything else has been Lightning Lure and features, which I have used up all of my features.
You do have a lot of features that kind of seem like spells.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. What's your total? What is it, 3 and 2 now at level 3?
Yes, it's 3 level 1. Oh, sorry, 4 level 1s and 2 level 2s.
All right, fair enough. All right, you cast Protection against Good and Evil on yourself. Is that what you said?
That is true.
Sure. You can do that.
As Devoka asks me this question, I will say to him, so that she can hear as well, I'll say, unlike the others, she seems hale and hearty. We'll take her with us, but we'll keep an eye on her, and she can do so to us as well. Does that sound all right?
I am okay with this.
Let's get this door figured out.
And so you can.
Let us gather the party before venturing forth.
I
So
think.
I think
I'm sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
back with Hashana. She's doing her ritual to identify this thing. I think Rusty's
Oh,
also there
yeah.
with her, just examining the sword as well. Not doing any spells or anything, but just looking at it, see if he recognizes it, because he's seen one of these before.
Sure. Hashana, as you ruminate on the sword, and you close your eyes meditating with it, I'm not sure if it has a school of magic, although I know Identify sort of gives you that. I guess the closest I would give it maybe transmutation? No. Let me this time I'm going to explain what I'm doing. Let me look something up. The sword is definitely magical as you ruminate on it. And particularly as you as you consider it, it's the blade feels just slightly cool to the touch, and there is something in you that pulsing, especially as you focus, that sort of energy or rhythm that is sort of vibrating in your mind as you really sort of like kind of link up with this thing. And you realize that there is something alarming about it, something that makes you fearful in a way. And it takes a moment before you realize that it's not actually you who's afraid. I would say that this blade gives you the aura of conjuration, I think would be correct. Confirm. Yes, it's conjuration magic that you feel coming from this. And with your identification, although, well, with Rusty's help, I think you gain, I don't know, Rusty, what do you tell her about the sword?
I guess I'll I reach behind my head and I pull out from the back of my neck what looks like a mechanical spider, like a clockwork spider, and say, I've received one of these from my sister. This is called a final messenger, and it shows the last thing a Warforged sees right before they are shut down for good. This was from my sister, Stepper. And when I viewed the spider, what I saw was someone bending over her holding a sword just like this one. And now that I know that this is from House Denieth, I can tell you that I identified that person as Tazra de Denieth.
Side note, you weren't sure.
Oh, it's either Tazra or Lalia. It's a twin. It's the one of the Dragonmarked twins of House Denieth was standing over her with a sword just like this one. That is why I'm here. I'm trying to find out what happened to her.
I would like to help you find out what happened to your sister. The sword is very strong, and I feel like it might be dangerous.
Let me give you, I'm sorry, I wanted to hear what he was going to tell you just to hear whether he would say the word cry steel, because I don't think identify would necessarily give you the name of a material, but let me give you a little more information from your identify spell. It is magical and it has power, but you can tell that its power is not here. The fear you feel is not your own, but of the spirit within you, as you can tell that this blade is somehow connected to Dalcor. You feel it through your identification spell that this object would be able to physically travel to Dalcor, the realm of dreams, and its properties may change in that realm.
With that being said, Rusty, I think I need to hang on to this sword.
No complaints from me. I don't want to touch it.
That sounds good. I will keep it safe for both of us.
There is a man I could take us to who may help tell us more about this blade. How is your body at withstanding extreme amount of heat?
That is a strange question, Rusty. I am unsure, as I do not venture much outside of my realm, my place of living.
Perhaps I will bring the blade to this man at some point.
Perhaps, but I think that this will deem useful to me later.
You hang on to it then.
Do you guys need to flip a coin? You guys need to have an arm wrestling match or something? No, I'm just kidding.
We need to have a duel to the death.
You know, once upon a time, there are people who play D&D and they roll to see who gets the loot. Imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Regardless,
these two non-sword wielding party members fighting over the sword.
that is correct. Although Rusty
Meanwhile,
totally could if he wanted to.
Rusty definitely could. It's just ironic that me and Voka are over here with swords and could not care less about this.
Rusty, do you cede it to her or you let Hishana take it?
Yeah, let it take it. I've got the information that I know because I was told specifically to I'll say this. I was told specifically to quote, "Not make any accusations about the noble houses, Rusty, without any solid proof." End quote. And now I have some proof.
Do you have a literal playback device on you?
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. Before I'm nipping that in the bud. No, you don't. Rusty just did his best impression of someone who you have not met yet.
Okay.
I do voices. Yeah, that's the thing he does now.
Sorry, gotta nip that before it somehow bites me in the butt. That you can just record everything you hear. All right, Hishana, you can put it away. You guys can cautiously take Kylene. Yeah, Kylene with you, and you guys can investigate the magical thing on the floor. I think this is a good place to leave it for tonight, though. And we can pick it up from here next time. So
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good time. So great session. You absolutely destroyed that combat, and I'm a little butthurt about it. So thanks to everybody who tuned in, which is actually a decent number of people. Thanks much for hanging out. And don't forget, if you missed any of it, if you came late, we'll upload the full episode on YouTube. Gaming Mandroid is the channel. All right. We'll see you next week.